Yo. Ashes Gaming. Or everything will be deleted tomorrow. Very curious how much Intrepid is going to do for early access, but I'm sure they are on it. Pushing to make it as smooth as possible. As you guys can hear, I'm still sick. But I'm bored of sleeping, so here we are. Can't sleep all day. And look, we have spring. Spring and summer. I like these seasons most in Ashes. Winter is literally depressing, like in real life. However, it's possible to change the biome. Always go to the desert, for example, or the tropics. There you don't really see the impact of different seasons. server is already so empty. I will try to mute myself if I'm coughing. Overall, nice to see that people are already preparing for early access. I think there is a lot of work ongoing in the background. I've heard from many sources that there are closer alignments with the player base. Oh, another willow. Let's get all the willow. You can literally tell by just looking at the rare trees around. If you can find them at obvious places like this one, that clearly means that nobody is actually playing it right now. I was not able to check PTR progress, but I think there was also a lot cooking ongoing, especially with endgame events, for example the Harbingers. I just hope that dynamic gridding will be okay when we are at early access. Because in my opinion performance might be the biggest issue as of now. And dynamic gridding might fix it. Nevertheless, the game is looking awesome. We have any PvP ongoing? Oh, Riverlands Lawless Zone, but no players around. Any other zone? Most likely not. Yeah, maybe I will check this out. Let me go there. If I'm lucky I can find someone, and if someone kills me I have all my stuff in my inventory, so people might be able to loot good stuff. Really curious how much new players early access will bring in. And at this point I would actually call them players and no longer testers, even though it is still in a testing phase. But with many other games, early access is still a lot of fun, enjoyable, many. I like that the road buffs are working fine, mostly. Previously they had issues with these. They had to disable it. As of now it works fine. It's just at some places it's not consistent. For example, this road I think is the most consistent. If you actually run on the road you will get the buff. At other places it's not tracking that you are on the road. It's not so precise. are my graphics? I think I have stuff on medium. Yeah, it's on medium. Maybe use early access. I will switch it back to low. Unfortunately, the game still needs a lot of optimization. No, the PvP event vanished. Okay, what do I do now? Do I check out the tropics? Or is there a new PvP zone? I wish I had a flying mod, but I don't. Let's go to Jova first. Want to see if there are any players around. And then we can go to Nuela, the next city. Oh look, someone is playing. Level 10 tank. Glendant. Do I have anything for him? Do I have any mount I can? I don't. Unlucky. Just have my mount. Probably already has a horse. It's surprising if not. If I'm not mistaken, this game will be playable on a Steam Deck. It's very funny because right now you can log in to the same account on multiple devices, and it's even allowed. It's not even something you are not allowed to do. So you can actually do it. Log in on multiple devices on your same account, different characters of course, and then play them at the same time. And with the Steam Deck it might be funny that some people will actually use it to do other things like gathering on different characters at the same time. The basic fishing, for example, doesn't require much attention, so people can just set another character on the Steam Deck to do some fishing while they are playing a different one on their PC. I have some glint here as well. Let's take it out. Anything hurts? No, just materials. Items are fine. Damn, it's so empty here. Look, this guy is kind of stuck in the animation. still some shops. Do I know anyone? No, not really. Crazy heels. Okay, let's go to Nuela. Someone's asking stuff in global chat. Level 7 asking for a dungeon. I will tell him to go Church of 7 Stars. Maybe he can find some friends there. Another weeping willow tree. In the open. By the way, it's so funny that if you are mounted, you can actually use a skill while being mounted. As a rogue. It's a nice feature. Very good opener. We check the stones. Field of stack stones. Maybe there is a dragon to see. Kinda doubt it, but let's see. Do we have a dragon here? No, we don't. Seems empty. Unlucky. Anyways. There are few spots on the world map for the dragon called Firebrand. It's a world boss. It can spawn here at the bottom, close to Nuela and close to these stones here, where I put the marker. Actually spawn here, right here. It can also spawn where I am, at the stack stones, close to Jova. Then it can spawn up here, close to Winstead. Can also spawn somewhere close to Mirrorless, but I haven't seen it. Not even once, but according to some people it can spawn here. I think it's here at the north of Mirrorless. And it can of course spawn at the well-known place Teamlo, which was previously very bugged, but they fixed a lot, so probably good to fight them here as well now. So these are the 5 spots where the world boss from the Riverlands can actually spawn. There is a world boss in the desert as well. A world boss for Jundark. However, I think it's also combined with the tropics because it's an underwater world boss, which we do not as of now have in the game, but which was presented already. I think Anvils has no world boss as of now. And there is another world boss, Tumok, which always spawns at this close to this river. Let me check here. So actually also close to the Firebrand spot. I like the concept of world bosses. I just hope they kind of fix the spawn times and so on for early access. Also not sure if early access will have any daily downtimes or daily resets. I hope not. But I have a feeling they have to do it. In the past we saw that if the servers are up for a longer duration, for a few days for example, then the world is getting very buggy in terms of everything. So that's why they included in the alpha testing that the servers should have at least once a day a restart, independent of any updates. Which is okay, but I'm curious how it's going to be during early access. There is so much open, so many questions in the community that hopefully will be answered. Anyways, I will check out New Ela first and maybe go to Winstead afterwards. Currently we have 3 towns in the game. Etchol, NA server. One is in New Ela. The first one was Winstead and the third one was Kaltorum. And as you can see, that's the vessel ship system. The neighbors are basically vessels of this settlement. Oh look, more willows. Also behind. So many willows, wow. Let's chop it, maybe I'm lucky. So gathering is currently by far the best thing you can do to make gold. And interestingly, it also gives you experience. So you don't really have to mob grind. You can only gather stuff, and if you do it long enough, then you will reach level 25 with gathering only as well. It takes a bit longer because depending on your rarity, you get experience. So if you chop a tree which gives you epic or even legendary wood, then you will gain a lot of experience. However, this is rare, right? So let's see. I got common, the lowest, and this gave me 5 experience, which is nothing if you look at my bar. For a 25 you need over 2 million experience to level up. And by the way, if anyone is here at Scholl and needs something, just let me know. I will just hand it out to you. You can test it, whatever it is. If I can provide you anything, let me know. So you can test it before everything will be deleted tomorrow. Oh, crossing a server border. Yeah, that was very laggy. And hopefully at least the crossing of server borders will be much smoother once we have dynamic gridding enabled. I know on PTR it is enabled, but I was not able to test it on PTR. Some people still reporting that they get crashes anyways, but the crashes are Unreal Engine related. They are not really, most of the time, server worker related. But that's another thing that I hope will be fixed soon. With the last Unreal Engine upgrade for better illumination, the client has issues. The client is crashing, especially if you are AFK for over 20 minutes. If you are running around doing stuff and being active, surprisingly it's not crashing that much. But if you're kinda AFK, then you might get some crashes. So much willow on this island that the whole area is full of willow wood. Usually this is rare, because you need weeping willow for a lot of stuff to to be built, looking especially to higher end gear, and people were farming this like hell. But right now nobody is playing, right? Holy fireplay. Thanks for the raid, appreciate it. It's a lot of viewers. Welcome everyone. Sorry, I'm a bit sick, but anyways, thanks again for the raid. I'm just hanging out the last day on Scholl, trying to answer questions. If anyone has something in mind, just shoot. Also, if you want to test anything here on Scholl, I can give you whatever you need. If you need any gear, any mount you want to ride, just let me know, I will provide it to you. Oh yeah, that's a good point. My axe is probably broken soon. Let me check. Ah, it still has a lot of durability. It's a good axe. But I'm no journeyman, unfortunately. This time I only made it to level 10 by chopping trees. The server is very empty. Also in global chat you don't see many people typing. Anyways, Fireplay, what were you doing? Hope you had a nice stream. And hope you are ready for early access if you are about to play Ashes. It might be not so good during the 11s. I have a feeling there will be a lot of new players and that might break stuff. But I just hope that Intrepid prioritizes the performance of the game. I'm currently also waiting for a PvP zone if anybody wants to do some PvP. But there is no zone right now. I think recently they announced some PvP related changes, especially for new players. I think until level 10 you are basically safe from being PvP'd. Nobody can go corrupt on you, nobody can PvP you. For yeah, new players to have a better beginner's experience and better access to everything, which I think is a good idea to do. Sturdy iron key directly anyways. I'm not sure how sick I sound, but I hope it's fine. Indirectly, of course, mob trading, yeah. And other stuff. You are familiar with it, yeah. But I think it will be less, yeah, let's say toxic as it was, for example, with other large streamers. They were not able to get out of spawn. I think Espengold had this experience. Yeah, I just hope, yeah. Yeah, it was with Espengold. And then after Steven saw that, he said, hey, guys, it's actually not allowed to do this against new players who are just starting the game. To basically grief them at the spawn. So yeah, he helped him out a bit. Anyways, it was a clear issue for anyone. That's not the way to go. So they are going to make it much more beginner friendly, at least at the start. I think this is going to be the same for getting gear. They have announced that there will be beginners gear boxes handed over after doing quests. So during this phase we had the issue nobody was getting any gear drops, and the quests were also not giving you any gear. So it was very crafter focused. You had to gather stuff, and you had to yeah, find a crafter to get things built for you. And this was annoying. So people were, I think some people were really blank, running naked until level 20. And yeah, that's not the way to go. So now it's planned to hand out at least beginner gear, also getting from the quests. So the accessibility for beginners will be much better. The game introduction in general will be much better. Yeah, it really was. It was not so nice. I just hope they focus more on this, because we need all the players, right? We need more players to test this game, especially for stress testing the dynamic gridding. I think that's that would be my main focus, to be honest. I just hope that it is possible to have a smooth experience for so many people. The world is huge, and if it can actually handle thousands of people at the same time, then everything else can be fixed or updated and patched quite easily compared to the performance. We had a lot of players a while back, but they decided to plan to test at report. 42 guilds. Okay, that's a lot. That's actually a lot. And by the way, thanks for the follow. I also hope that the size of guilds is going to be increased. I know there are currently some, yeah, basically perks you can choose as a leader. You can go for a larger size. You can focus on that. However, I think in a broader scenario, there are guilds that have hundreds of people. So the current guild size, was it 50, 60, around that, with or without perks, is very limited for these massive guilds that even own multiple settlements, so they have enough people to vote in multiple mayors, which is fine, right? We have a lot of settlements, that's all good, no issue, because the development and progress on the areas are much faster than anything else. Oh look, 5 legendary Weeping Willow, rare. And this gave me, by the way, 315 lumberjacking experience compared to the 50 common. It's much more. Hopefully when they release to Steam they fix all the memory leaks and causes brief stuff. Yeah, I was talking about this. I also hope that somehow Unreal Engine is going to provide fixes, because the client is crashing due to this, due to the last Unreal Engine upgrade. I was kinda hoping that maybe Intrepid just yeah, is not upgrading to the fresh Unreal Engine, but they did anyways, and now we are here and some people have client crashing issues. I think what would be bad as well is any major bug that leads to the progress to be re-rolled to a state 1 or 2 days ago, and that's that might be not well received by the larger community. I know that there will be a lot of criticizing, especially on Steam. I just hope it's not going to be a total shit show. I think Intrepid is aware of this as well, that they are fully aware this game is has a lot of issues, a lot of work to be done. But anyways, it looks good, it has potential, and they are working on it. So I just hope not many people are coming in freshly to early access with a high expectation. That might be, yeah, that might not work well at the end. You running Rogue again? Ah, that's a good one. I actually think of running Ranger first and getting the Rogue ready afterwards for PvP, for endgame PvP. Because I noticed that, especially for example, the speed buff alone on the Ranger for your mount is very beneficial, because you are running so much in this game. You are traveling a lot and it takes time, and just having this 10% speed buff makes a difference. So right now I think I will go with Ranger for early access. However, I will slowly yeah, level up my Rogue as well afterwards. That's the current plan, what I want to do. They will 100 say it's early access when it's still in alpha, and say the state of the game should have been better. Yeah, that's what I think they will do. I think most people are not really, or have a different expectation to an early access from other games than this one. This one is clearly stated to be still in alpha. It still has a lot of issues. However, I think you can still have fun, especially looking at the MMO genre in general. There is not much going on, right? So why not test it and try it out? However, I like the previous opportunity where people could buy in. For example, buy an alpha key, try out the game for 90 days. So for 3 months they could try it and give it back and get a refund, a full refund. with early access, the Steam release, it won't be like this. So people actually have to decide within few hours if they want to keep it or if they want to give it back for a refund. Yeah. Is Rogue just best 1v1 PvP at the moment? It is definitely one of the strongest classes right now for 1v1. There was a 1v1 PvP tournament recently. I don't know who won, but I think tanks are also very good. Other than that, I would say bards. So bards, tanks and rogues are very good in 1v1 right now. Rogue has a lot of utility for 1v1 especially. So you can, if you, it is not that easy to play and not that easy to set up, but if you actually combine your skills very smart and react to the enemy skills, then you should be able to win every fight with a rogue. Saying that with the best, not the best gear in mind, but the same gear in mind. So gear actually matters. So if the tank or the bard has much better gear, then yeah, you may have no chance. But if everybody has same gear, let's pretend everybody has the same gear, then rogue is really strong in 1v1. Yes. They will use the excuse of the game being in development for so long as means to back their claim. Yeah, without considering the engine rework. Yeah, agree. I played Bard phase 2 in 3 now, rolling Ranger I think. Ranger is more relaxed, I would say. It's definitely less complex than Bard. And I think where Ranger shines is in mid-scale and large-scale fights. With the wines, especially with the wines, you can root so many people, and if you call it and combine it with your colleagues, with your teammates, then you are able to burst down 5 people at once, and this is very beneficial. It is also very strong during ship fights, so if you are in the open ocean, then it is very beneficial to have a ranger. What graphic settings are you running in the game? I'm currently on medium, and by the way, sorry if I'm a bit slow with the chat. I'm not used to this at all. So my graphic settings are right now at fully medium. Sometimes I switch it to low, just because the game is not so optimized in general. The client is not optimized. There might be ads now. Maybe I wait until the ads are over and continue reading chat. However, if you want to ask my hardware is kinda good. I have the best AMD card, CPU wise, the best chip, and a 5080, an RTX 5080. So it's not a hardware issue on my end. I mean, they want 100% back to the drawing board, which is why it's taking them so long. Yeah, that might be a reason. PC specs, Rick. Let me put it in here, okay? CPU, MD, 3X. GPU RTX 5080. RAM. Unfortunately, RAM is currently very expensive, at least in Europe. I don't know how it is for you, but in Europe, RAM is very expensive. Yeah, these are the most important ones, right? You don't need more. There you go. Oh, I fucked up the CPU name. Anyways, it's get that. Ranger also gives a special buff of 2 for parties. Yeah. The speed buff for parties is Strider, the group Strider, you probably mean. That's very beneficial for caravans as well. So you can put it on a caravan and then you are faster with the caravans. So I assume you guys no longer have any ads running. For everyone who survived, thanks for staying. And I will continue. Haven't played yet, but I'm hearing so much fear mongering around playing tank. Might do it anyway though. Just go for it. It's much more important that you actually play something that you like, that you want to test out, that you think that might fit your playstyle, than anything else. Currently tanks are especially worried because of the summoner. The summoner is able to do, yeah, a lot of stuff. You can play summoner as a DPS, you can play it as a healer, you can play it as a tank, and the tanks are especially regarding this concern that, hey, the big guy from the summoner is able to tank as well, so why should anyone want a tank if they just can use a summoner to do the job? Oh look, we have some players actually trying out. Nice to see. Just think of it as playing SOC analyst. Oh, that's a good comparison. Guys, you won't get XP if I join your group. I better not join, but maybe they need any help. Let's see. Let me tell them. I have huge respect for any SOC analyst, to be honest. It can be a relaxed role if you don't have any real incidents coming in and too many alerts, but I think it can also be very stressful as a job. So huge respect to everyone who's doing a SOC analyst. Why is this guy not turning? He should turn around. Okay, let's do the Omaiwa Mo move. This is, by the way, the mob where you can get the lion, the protector sprite. Currently the fastest mount in the game if you are able to train it successfully. Kinda nice. It spawns every 20 minutes and you can just come here and farm it. It's the only spot where it spawns. Okay, let me catch up with the chat. I'm just running RTX 30. Yeah, that's totally fine. I think previously I was running 2070. I just upgraded my hardware recently, so the game is able to work with old hardware as well. That's no issue. I think the client itself has some optimization issues, so it really doesn't matter if you have a 5090 or a 5080 like me. It still has some stuttering and some other performance issues, which are either server related or client related. Yeah, it's not bad. I know my setup is, but it's really fresh. I upgraded it recently. Thorns or regen still part of the ranger toolkit. Yeah. I think for thorns and regen you have to decide. You can only give it to one guy, so you can also give it to a teammate, but it's not a party-wide buff. Only the party strider gives the speed buff to everyone in your party. How does the weapon combos look like? Let me check. Do you have a separate button to do the weapon attacks? So right now you actually only have the here on the side it says combo attack. So you can only use this. I have set this to my yeah, basically number 1 on my keyboard. So if I hold the number 1 key, the auto attack key, it will do this auto attack, and it will always do the combo as well. You can see first hit is just the piercing damage, second hit piercing damage, third, fourth, fifth, and starting with the sixth. This is for daggers specifically. It will do a finisher, which applies bleeding, or if you have other stuff leveled up here in where was it? No, K. So here are the class skills. If you press K, skill tree, and you can also see a tree for weapons, and you have to level this up separately. By using the weapon, it gets leveled. If you kill something with this weapon, then it gets XP and it gets leveled, and you can then unlock some special effects for your finishers. But overall, you can, as of now, can hold 2 weapons. If you see it here below, you can have 2 weapons, and of course you can change them whenever you want. They don't have their own skill tree, so the skills are really based on your class skills. As you can see, most of the stuff that you can see in my bar is from here. These are the skills from my class, Rogue, and for auto attacks, this is just the enhancement, the passive buffs for your auto attacks, and yeah, you just have the auto attack on your weapon, which is for every weapon slightly different. Some weapons are faster, for example daggers and short bows shoot much faster. However, they deal a bit less damage. So you have slower weapons like two-handed greatsword and a longbow. A longbow, for example, has also better range. So with a short bow you can shoot just I don't know what the actual meter range is, but you can only shoot mid-range, and with a longbow you have the maximum range, because if I'm here and you see the gram in front of me, I cannot shoot it with my short bow. It's out of range. Target is too far. With a longbow, this would be easy. Longbow has a lot of range. However, it shoots slower. So you have to decide what your playstyle is and where it fits better. For example, if you are in the open ocean on ships attacking another ship, a longbow might be better for this job, because for a shortbow to work you have to get closer. However, the shortbow shoots faster. So it really depends on your playstyle. I think for Rogue the shortbow is better, because you are most of the time fighting single targets, and single targets are most of the time close to you, maximum mid-range. You want to get close to your target as a rogue. So yeah, there is a separate button for weapon attacks, but it's just one button. It is not any different. Most of the skills in your bar are coming from the skill tree, from the class skill tree. Wait, you used a 1080 Ti and it worked? Okay, that's interesting. I think in the specs, in the official requirements, it is possible to use it, but I haven't heard of anyone who's using it. I see. Yeah, Rogue is cool. However, you don't have the speed buff. And first, when I started phase 2, so a year ago, I started as a ranger, and I had fun with ranger. I actually liked it. But then Rogue came out, and I was like, hey, rogue stealth gameplay. And the grappling hook, I really like the grappling hook. Being able to do this is kind of fun. I decided to go with rogue. But I think overall, thanks for the follow. Overall, I think it makes sense for me personally to start as a ranger for all the PvP group leveling stuff, for maybe farming some mobs, and afterwards for endgame PvP, especially a small scale, a rogue might be better. Rogue is just broken. We have to wait for the nerfs. I have so many people in my guild telling the same. I don't know how Summoner is right now. I think Summoner is the most broken. It is not in alpha yet, but we will see in early access, right? I think Summoner is the most broken. I still think that Bards are strong. They got nerfed. Yeah, they received some nerfs, but I think they are still very strong. When I do a 1v1 against a Bard, he is able to literally set me on fire, and I will die very, very quickly as a rogue. I think in a 1v1 scenario it is intended for rogue to be stronger, just because of the toolkit and the skill tree, what he can do. I think it's intended to be strong against single targets. However, I also think that rogues do not have much stun breaks. So you have your teleport if you skilled it twice as a stun break, and you have your umbral cloak if you have advantage, which gets rid of your crowd control. So other than that, you don't really have a stun break. So you actually have to stun a rogue twice, and then you can burst him down. However, I understand that many people are convinced that rogue is OP, and I don't say it's not. It is strong, especially for 1v1, but there is some counterplay to it, definitely. Summoner is pretty strong in PTR, but so many people will play them. With the current HP scaling, it seems like we are in tank meta. Yeah, that's why I'm concerned as well. If you remember at the start, they had this issue that time to kill was way too short, right? People died way too fast. After someone using 2-3 skills, people already were dead. And they made it better. Time to kill has increased. So it takes more time to kill people, and proper duels are now possible. However, I think they will increase it even further looking forward. I think especially for mid-scale and large-scale fights, when you have a large group fighting each other, if people are casting multiple skills at one point, you get melted. So you have no time to react or do any kind of counterplay. And that's where healers, clerics, are not able to heal you because people die too fast in these fights. So I have a feeling they want to increase the time to kill even more. 2 CC breaks too much? Man, I don't know. I would like, but there is a I cannot use it immediately, right? I need advantage for the umbral cloak to break out of CC. If I don't have advantage, and right now we only can have 2 stacks of advantage, maybe later with level 30, 40, 50, we will be able to have 3 stacks of advantage, and then I guess it's okay to say, yeah, it's very strong, because you can have 1 advantage always as a backup for your CC break. But right now, you can immediately stun break with the teleport, but you can only stun break if you have advantage with the umbral cloak, and it's a 1.5 minutes cooldown. So it's I don't know. Maybe I'm too biased. I could be too biased because I like Rogue and I don't want them to nerf it hard. Um, but yeah, it could be that I'm biased. How the class system work? Do you like pick one class and you will use the skill tree of that specific class? So right now, keep in mind it's not finished yet. Is there some variety in building your characters? Yes, there will be. So right now we only have the primary classes, right? Let me actually, I think I have it here somewhere. Do I? Yeah, I do. Okay, let me put it in chat for the classes. Thanks for the follow. So it is initially planned and still planned to have these 64 classes, right? Which are variations of these primary classes. So you have fighter, tank, rogue, ranger, mage, summoner, cleric and bard. 8 primary classes. Until level 25 you only have this, and current max level is 25. Until level 50 it is planned that you can choose a secondary class. So if you have, for example, rogue as your primary class, which I have right now, with level 50, or also during the journey until level 50, I'm able to choose a secondary class, which I'm able to switch whenever I want. It will take some quests to do. It will need some time to switch the secondary class, but you will be able to switch your secondary class whenever you want. The primary, however, you have to decide at the very start, and you have to stick. Most of your skills will be based on your primary class. The secondary class will impact those skills. It will give them different flavors. So if I, for example, go for rogue and ranger, that would be, I think, let me check, a predator. Yeah, if I go primary class rogue and secondary class ranger, that would be a predator. This is just me imagining stuff and thinking loud. It might be, for example, for the caltrops, which is kind of like a trap, right? And they are currently just having snared and piercing. It might be that these will get poison as well, or will be able to actually root people. These kind of flavors for the skill, if I have a ranger secondary class. It might be as well that on top of my stealth, I maybe get some kind of camouflage, so a combination which makes me which allows me to stay in stealth using different skills. Maybe I don't know. So depending on your secondary archetype, there will be different flavors which will affect your primary archetype skills. I'm not sure if they confirmed that there will be totally new skills with your secondary archetype. I think right now it's not really planned. Right now it will affect your primary skills, but it could happen, right? You could get a few additional skills with your secondary archetype as well. And no, exactly, there is no class balancing right now, and I think it will be very hard to do for 64 classes to balance them. They already, Intrepid already clearly said and announced this. They will not balance on 1v1 basis. They will only balance the game for mid-scale and large-scale fights. So it will always be a balance for groups. If you have a good group with different classes, you may win actually the fight, because the synergies between different classes is much better than having just one class in a group. Hello Slogna. Catching up with the chat. Rogues already had so many nerfs. I know, right? I mean, at least the grappling hook got nerfed. So grappling hook was much better. It's no longer getting you to the exact same position where you are putting your grapple in, and other stuff as well. But I'm not going to say don't nerf rogue. I will be neutral here. At least I try to. Do you know much about ranger gear? What ranger gear should I craft at level 10 and level 20? I think for level 10 it is totally fine if you get from the weapon side the highwayman weapons. South from Winstead you have this place here, Highwayman Hills. Weapons from Highwayman Hills start with level 10, and there are, for example, Forsaken Bow. It is, I think, the best bow. It should be the best bow still for level 10. And as a greatsword, you can try out this hill here. On this mountain close to Steelbloom, there is a goblin which can drop the what was the name? There is a greatsword it can be, which it can drop, which is quite good for level 10. Skin stripper, I think something like that. And yeah, for looking at the weapons, you will get the best gear for ranger at level 10 from Highwayman Hills and from this hill. And this boss spawns every 10 minutes, so it is possible to get, but it will be of course contested, like other named mobs. Why would you craft before? That's also a good question. I would suggest you to go with drops with level 10, because crafting takes gold and time, and also if you cannot craft it by yourself, you may want to get someone to craft it for you. So try to craft gear 20 plus. It makes more sense to save your gold, save your time and energy and your materials to get good stuff with level 20 plus as of now. There is no difference between level 23 common and level 23 epic. I mean, not really. I mean, the stats are higher, right? For example, that's why I have some epic stuff here. And maybe good to know as well, if you have something with a set bonus. So for example, the Steelbloom necklace, Steelbloom earrings. You can see, it tells me below that 5 out of 3 I have a set bonus. So for 2 pieces I get the set bonus of max health, and for 3 pieces I get the set bonus of 480 power. And interestingly, this set bonus is as of now based on the rarity as well. So I have 3 pieces of legendary, and that's why I get the set bonus for legendary. If I would have it on epic, it would be less, and I would get a lesser set bonus. So keep this in mind. For everything which has a set bonus, it might make sense to have at least the minimal amount of gear pieces in a higher rarity to get the max out of your set bonus. We know from the PTR, as I've said, yes, it can change, but until that it happens. Okay, maybe, but you no longer get HP from leveling up, so good luck. Yeah, you will need a healer. if you are leveling, you will definitely need a healer now, even more. I don't think that it's a problem if you have a good group. Yeah, exactly. But we will figure it out as we did the previous phases as well, right? I have a feeling most of the guys here in chat at least played phase 2 or 2.5, or maybe you just joined in phase 3, which is also fine, right? But I have to tell you, phase 2 from a beginner perspective was actually better and easier. So if you have survived the phase 3 and you were fresh, then you will also survive what is coming next, I'm pretty sure. Because the drops were really messed up. They wanted to give a huge focus on the crafters, but they messed it up because, yeah, it's not supposed to be like this, that people at level 10 are still naked. I played 2.5, 3, yeah, I totally agree. Phase 3 was really not good. And at some point, there were also people, I don't call names, but there were groups that were somehow leveled up to level 25 within 2 days, which is already suspicious if you don't have any gear on the server. And these guys afterwards were farming Steel Bloom, because Steel Bloom was the only place, if you remember, early phase 3, that was still dropping some kind of gear. It was dropping Rosarium gear, it was dropping the stuff that also has these set bonuses, and of course the accessories, rings and so on. So people were farming at the very start, at least the ones who leveled fast were farming Steel Bloom for gear in phase 3, and at some point they decided to not just reduce the drop rates, but basically delete the drop rates. So people who were slower in leveling and ready for Steel Bloom were no longer dropping any gear out of Steel Bloom. So it was really messed up. That was really messed up. But it is what it is. It is an alpha. They are also testing. We are testing. I just hope it will be a much smoother and better experience for all the new people joining in with early access. You might get ads in 20 seconds again, according to my ads manager. I wish I could disable it on Twitch. It's because they changed the drop rate for 3 days and then... yeah, exactly. PvP in PTR. For a little more than 3 days. I think it was until... I mean, the group I'm talking about actually did it in 2 to 3 days. I think they even streamed it, which was hilarious, because this is, first of all, not supposed to be done that fast. I think Intrepid has in mind that from level 0 to level 25 it should take around 100 hours of playtime. And second of all, I mean, it's right after the start of the server. Nobody has gear. How are you able to level up so fast? I could understand it if it were later for a second character where you can already provide the gear up front, but yeah, it was very fast. But maybe they found a way nobody's aware of. Could be. Why not? Is there any official announcement that there will be a wipe after during the early access? No, there is not. And if you ask Steven, I'm pretty sure he will say the same stuff as always. It is not planned to wipe. It is actually planned to keep the servers running as long as they can. For this one, I think many people are happy that they decided to wipe it. Because the economy was fucked. There were severe, very critical bugs where people were duplicating stuff. There was a lot of gold in the economy due to this. So yeah, everything was really bad. And at this point, if you really have critical bugs affecting the whole economy, affecting the player base and so on, it makes sense to decide to have a wipe, but we will see. I'm pretty sure the general announcement, as always, will be they will try to keep the servers running as long as possible, and if they encounter anything critical, they might wipe. So overall, let's hope with early access there is no wipe upcoming, but there might be still bugs even with when new features are introduced. There might be severe bugs that affect the whole economy and player base and so on. And then I can understand if they decide to wipe, or if they don't wipe, they might also decide to spin up fresh servers. They could say, hey, for those who want to play with this, even though the critical issues kind of fucked up the server, feel free to continue. But for those who say, hey, I can't play like this, there you go, you get a fresh server. It might be that they will go this way this time. It could be, but we never know, and you should always keep in mind even early access is an alpha. It's an early testing, and critical issues might occur where they will decide to wipe. So that's why I'm telling people as well, don't have too high expectations, and don't play it like a no life. So really play it like what it is. It is still testing, and you don't have to play 100 hours without any break to be the best, to be the first, because at some point there might be a wipe, and we all know there will be wipes when the beta starts. So when the beta starts, there will be a wipe. When the launch comes, everything will be deleted anyways. So always keep this in mind. Don't be disappointed at the end for putting in so much effort and work. It is more important that we show them that we are here for testing, that we are reporting critical stuff and also non-critical stuff. They have it in their backlog. They will at some point catch up, and at the end for the launch, we are basically involved in the development as well with our testing, and that's a good thing and rare in the industry. Okay, I need to catch up. If I miss something, please just repeat it, no worries. I might reread it. Okay, the 48-hour level 25% legit. Okay, no, if you say so, if you also did it, then I trust you. I think it is possible if you really know the way, if you really know what to do, when to do, and the perfect setup with a group that is, that really knows what they are doing. I think it is possible, but it was surprising. It was really surprising, because I, for example, did not know Crab Island. I had no idea that here, south of Corin, at this bay, you are able to kill some crabs very easily, and they provide you a lot of XP. I did not know that. And there are more places, right? There are also places that are PvP zones in the ocean, which give you a basic buff on your XP gain. However, you risk PvP, but at the very start, you may not risk it, because not many people are high enough to fight you anyways, or go to that place. Yo, Boa, howdy. How you doing? Hope you are fine. Tier 4 cities look pretty interesting. Yeah, they do. They need some polish here and there, but they really look nice. I like it. I'm excited to see Tier 5. So Tier 4, there was a community vote in Discord if it should be called town or city, and we as a community decided this is a town now. So this Winstead Tier 4 is a town, And tier 5 I think will be maybe double as big, and tier 5 will be then a city, called a city. They want to push better for next year. Did they really say that? I know Steven announced on Twitter that with early access they will push forward, looking forward for beta, but I don't know if they actually said, hey, end of next year beta will come. I don't think they did that. They would not commit to this. Give me line mount. Joshua G. Wilson. Give me line mount. Okay, come to Winset, I give you line mount. You know what? I give you 5 protector sprite animals and you can train them by yourself, okay? Oof, don't be like that. It just needs time, and you know it has potential. Not bankrupt 2027. I hope not. But I understand your point, and that is definitely one of the reasons for early access. Are there up-to-date power leveling routes available, or is all the knowledge obscured in various discords? I think as of now most of the stuff is actually obscured in different discords of different groups. I'm not looking into into the YouTube space if there are any guides regarding power leveling, how to make it most efficient. I don't know if there is any guide on YouTube. But as of now, I'm pretty sure the people that know, they just know. They may have some stuff in their discords, but most of the people, they just know, and they will tackle it how they know it. But keep in mind, everything is kind of subject to change, and with new places, with new areas and so, there will always come opportunities to improve the stuff. And maybe the old power leveling routes are no longer valid because they got nerfed. So it might be possible they get some nerfs regarding the XP. So always keep this in mind. So that's why just enjoy the journey. Hopefully at launch in, I would say, at least 2 to 3 years, likely longer. Hopefully then everybody knows what to do when the game actually starts. And right now I think no need to stress out what's the best way to do. Just play it for fun. If you find anything weird, report it, and then you're good to go. Yes, brand new questing system coming in and providing at least beginners gear with some gearboxes, which is really good. So you don't have to run naked until level 20 or whatever. I think I was with level 25 still, I was missing some pieces. With level 25 I was kinda naked still. As Rosin said, don't try to min-max, not in an alpha. You can try it after launch and go all in, but don't do it for an alpha. You might regret it. T4 city looks like a stormwind. Okay, let me get up here. Maybe have a better view from here if I can manage. Almost hacked up. Is there any better point? I think this is fine. I mean, it looks nice. It really looks nice. I just hope that they do some polish and reveal tier 5 cities. That would make sense. Because right now the vessel ship system is also interesting. Nuela has even Sunhaven on the right side as a vessel. But yeah, I like it. I can see the whole picture already when the world is complete. But right now I think we are at 30 to 40% of the world map. So here we will get a new zone on the right side. We will get this island, this plant, and then that would be the west side of the whole world map. And on the east side there is yeah, a new continent as well, which is still in development. It is so huge. This game is huge. Servus, kannst du dich ein bisschen lauter machen? It tatsächlich nicht. It's because I'm sick, but I can talk louder. Lass mich einfach lauter reden. Ich hoffe, es klappt. Alright, let me catch up. With refund mechanic, not sure Steam will make them money, sadly. Yeah, agree. However, it's also no longer the 90 days of refund time, right? With Steam, people have to decide very quickly within the first hours of gameplay if they want to keep it or not. Oh, is it 2 hours? Okay, I didn't know. I hoped it would be a bit longer, but 2 hours is not much, to be honest. 2 hours is for Ashes. I mean, what do you see if you start the game and play it for 2 hours? You won't even reach level 10, I think. I like the night sky. This looks nice. Only original Weka keep getting faith of AOC. Yeah, kinda true, but let's be honest. It really has potential. You can't say it has no potential. It is really good stuff that Intrepid is doing, and I understand that it is very challenging. So overall, it's an ambitious project. We can just decide to support it or not. That's also fine. It might be at the end a very niche MMO that not many people enjoy, because it has a lot of old school aspects and is at least the current state is very grindy, which many people won't like, I assume. But yeah, I think I decided to give it a chance, and yeah, we will see what the time will bring. Best strat is to join a guild and learn from guild. Agree. I think playing it doesn't have to be a guild, but really try to make friends. You can find people via the LFG system. You can find people by just talking in global chat. This is not a solo playing friendly game. You will progress much better and will have also much more fun if you play this game in a group. You can do some solo playing when you have your gear, when you have reach the max level and so on. Yeah, do whatever you want, but the journey you should share it with a group, with a guild. You will get so much more out of it, and your experience will be so much better. So if you can, I highly recommend you to join at least a smaller group, maybe also a guild. I don't think the game is in a good state for early access on Steam. Agree. And I think Intrepid is aware of this. They are already expecting bad reviews, I think. However, it is probably a decision based on multiple stuff, and if it makes sense for them, they can try it. I just hope it will not backfire very hard. I think I'm going Ranger for EA. and leveling up the rogue in the meanwhile. I might actually go with Nikua race again. I kinda like the small races, and Nikua has some nice hairstyle, default hairstyle and beard. I kinda like it. More than Dunia. The Dunia race was not my thing. This is more based on social interaction, like Steven has said. This is social MMORPG. Yeah, and it definitely is. It is. The players really shape the world with the settlement system as well, with the politics that the mayors are doing, with the intrigues and the betrayals. It really is shaped by players. You cannot deny that. It is a social-based MMORPG. But on the other hand, I think during phase 2, I don't know which server it was. It was not Lines. During phase 2, I was on the NA server Lines. There was another NA server, and on this server, the largest group, I think they were called Polar, really fucked up the state of the server for the majority of players, because they took over most of the settlements, previously called nodes, and yeah, crafted all the high gear stuff with the stations they needed, and then destroyed the stations afterwards, so nobody else was able to craft the good gear. So that was a very toxic behavior and fucked up their server. So yeah, social based, player based can be good, but if you have a dominant party which is doing this kind of toxic stuff, then it will ruin the fun for all. I think it's also not a good thing to do if you want even fights and test this game fully. So yeah, but they did it. It happened. The social part, the largest group, dominant, the numbers actually matter in this game very much. I don't know how to fix it right now. Maybe they can find a way to kinda nerf it. But if you are the group with the largest numbers and the presence on the server, then you will dominate. It is what it is. It is also in real life, right? If you are a nation with billions of people, you kinda have an advantage if it comes to war or whatever. Harbinger story arc system, crafting revamp, questing revamps, that revamp summoner. Yeah, that's a good summary. Thanks, Tim. I've only been a backer since Kickstarter. I mean, Kickstarter is already early. That's a lot. You have been a backer longer than I. That's for sure. Greetings. For how long will be the servers on today? I actually don't know. So I'm living in Europe. FYI. I know I'm playing on an NA server, but I'm living in Europe, in Germany, and I think they will be online until tomorrow, the 1st of December. Let me check if there was any announcement. Let me see. Glorious PT. Okay, no, this is news for PTR. I don't see any news for Alpha 2. Alpha 2 realms are back up. These realms are scheduled to be through Monday, December. So I assume they will shut it down maybe for Europeans Tuesday morning, because it will be through Monday, December 1st. So tomorrow the servers will be still up, if I interpret this correctly. From Roshan, maybe you guys are in the Discord. Let me copy the message ID in chat. So maybe you can find it with the message ID. But if you go into the Ashes official Ashes Discord, um, under Alpha 2 News, then you can see a message from Roshan. So it looks like they will be online tomorrow as well, through the whole day, NA time. And then they will shut it down for good, wipe all, and yeah, make everything ready for early access. We will get the same names, so the server names will not change. We will still get the Scholl server for NA and the Loteria server for Europe. Yeah, it will be a fresh start for everyone. I assume Harbinger specific crafting tables will be a good fallback. Yeah, could be. Grey Pell. I don't think Polar win because of numbers. They have a plan going into every phase. Could be. They are really well organized. I mean, they lost the numbers game, I think, on Scholl because Supple and Aura kind of fusioned. They merged, right? And I think with the with early access, it will be reborn as maybe Aura. So the numbers will be on Aura and Supple side. That's for sure. But Polar has a lot of dedicated players who are maybe no-lifing, could be, and are very organized. Agree with that. I have heard from people that they are exploiting a lot, but I don't have any evidence of this, so I won't go into that. So not sure if they are exploiting anything. It might be not. But yeah, almost 10 years now. Yeah. Gerne. Flying energies. I just hope my voice is not going to fall apart soon, because I'm still sick. But glad to help. Yes, the company has been around for 10 years, but when you take into account the game had to be remade when they changed to Unreal 5 and the starting team was like 4 guys, this game has been a full production for 4. Yeah, agree. So they have been very transparent and open about the development from the very start, 10 years ago. However, it is a startup, right? It is not a billion-dollar company like the other game studios, for example Blizzard, for example Riot Games. You really have to keep this in mind from a business perspective. They don't have the capability and also not the money from the very start to increase the progress. So I think they are just for a few years now a team of 200 people, which is still not that large, I would say, for a project like this. However, it is really progressing the last years properly, how you would expect it. So always keep this in mind. There should be still open positions open. Yeah, if you are a game developer or designer, maybe check it out. I don't know how their policy is like, if they accept remote work from global. I think right now most people are in San Diego, in their studio actually, and receiving all the benefits they can for the US workers. AOC Apocalypse platform was scrapped in Alpha 1. I guess the Winder community don't know we were a large part of that alliance. I shot called for Supple versus Polar. I see. Yeah, good to know. Intrepid is more like indie studio. I think no more. They definitely were for a long time an indie studio, but I think right now, yeah, they kinda grew a lot. I think it is definitely a larger studio as of now. Not sure where the definition ends, where the limits are regarding indie or not, but agree. I mean, at the end, you cannot compare it with the large studios like Blizzard and Riot Games, for example. You cannot. It is a different world. A lot of the dev positions got filled. They got a lot of devs from New World team getting scrapped. Yeah, I've heard that. I think they also got director for economy, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, this role was open for a long, long time and very needed. It was critical to have someone properly looking into the economy. Let's hope it gets kind of fixed during early access. Maybe at the start, probably not, but we will see. And the second most critical role, which was open for a very long time, was the senior anti-cheat engineer. Not sure if that got filled. Tim, if you have any insight, let me know. But I think this one was critical as well. The other roles are fine, I would say. Or not so critical in comparison. Actually catched up finally with the chat. Time to take a sip of water. Yeah, I think econ is right now maybe more important, but from a technical perspective, and I'm coming from IT security perspective, I saw a lot of people with speed hacks flying around and so on, teleporting and so on. It was a lot. So that's why I hope that they kinda have an anti-cheat engineer as well, a senior anti-cheat engineer who can have a look. It's probably not easy because it's all Unreal Engine. Maybe not many people have experience with the Unreal Engine in MMOs. That might be an issue as well. But I don't think it is the payment of these talents that it took so long to actually get them. And yeah, most likely the recent announcements of New World, where many people lost their jobs, helped them to get the roles filled. So yeah, looking forward for early access. My most critical point would be performance. They really have to focus into performance. Because I'm sure dynamic gridding was not really stress tested as it should be. And I have a feeling it might be possible, worst case of course, that on the 11th the servers will shit themselves so hard, so badly, that nobody will be able to actually play. It might happen. I just hope it does not, but it might happen. Yuri, thanks for the follow. And everyone else I missed while speaking. Keanu Cleaves, nice name. I see voices, also nice. Hello from Mother Russia. Привет, как дела? I know few words in Russian. GPU is RTX 5080. But you can run this on 1080 Ti. There is only 2 spots where to grind from 0 to 20 plus. That's true, yeah. I think there are more spots, but they are not so efficient. Alpha 2 was stress test 2. Yeah, I mean, phase one was focusing on performance as well, right? But to be honest, at least with phase 3 the performance got worse than phase 2. I think it was yeah, intended, because yeah, Intrepid is basically just trying to fix it with dynamic gridding, which kinda makes sense, right? If you have something, a new technology that you are testing, which might be able to fix all of this, why not focus on that? Um, but we will see how it will work out. I just hope it will work out at some point. Your Russian sound like God. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. And I just know Itoje, if somebody replies to me with хорошо, then I'm like, yeah, same. Same. I feel well as well. However, right now I'm sick. Maybe you can hear it out. Uh, they just suck hard. Everybody will fill 2 square and make the server being crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about as well. I really have a feeling it will not be so good. But I'm still trying to be positive, and we don't know what exactly they are cooking in the back end, in the background. So let's just hope that it will be not a huge shit show, and that it will be fine. And from there we go. I have a 3060, then you are good. With a 3060 you are very good. I don't think you have to upgrade. The performance issue right now is more client-side and server related. It is not your hardware which is causing any issues. Don't think you need a 5070 to play this properly. You don't. I'm running medium graphics settings because I have a feeling it is better optimized for medium settings, the game. But sometimes I'm also dropping this to low, even with very good hardware on my end. It's Intrepid's fault to not fix their node system, as they mentioned in their vision, and not making the node equally. Yeah, I don't also know what's going on in the background at Intrepid, right? There might be reasons for this. They might be issues that they was encountering surprisingly. I mean, it's development, right? It's all in progress and all subject to change. You have to kind of make the best out of what you have and what you encounter. Maybe they just said, hey, it might make sense to not have this as priority for now and focus on different stuff. Yes, same. It's so great to hear words from a non-native speaker at previous. Thank you, thank you. If all nodes were equally, people would spread around the world, which is not the case at the moment, and for long term, as they prefer working on expanding map instead of fixing critical system. Agree. However, with expanding the map, I think so we have a lot of space, right? We have a lot of nodes slash settlements right now, and they are actually quite fast in expanding the world. I think this is a totally different team working on the expansion of the map than the team that is actually responsible for settlement functionalities of the nodes. So I have a feeling maybe they are also using AI to help them out to basically create the environment they are developing. So overall, I think it is just a different team, which makes way faster progress than the team who is looking deeper into the functionalities of the node settlements. So that's why they maybe decided, hey, if the progress with the world expansion, with the new zones that get released fairly fast compared to other stuff, maybe they just want to take this out to give us at least to show us, to let us test the new environments, but to also show us, hey, there is progress ongoing and we are transparent with you, even if those areas are not fully polished. We have them, we cook them, and we want them tested already by you, and that's why we are releasing new zones much faster than the actual functionalities being polished and fixed. So because there are different teams working on different stuff in the background. That's what I assume. When early access? 11th of December. If it's not, I hope it's not getting delayed because of any performance issues, but as of now, it's set in stone, 11th of December. Thanks, Uri, for answering it. Don't think it will fix things, it will help, sure, but there will always be some node totally empty. Yeah, most likely. Even if we get more players, it might be the case. It is also not easy to level up a node. It is, for example, in phase 3, we noticed that Winstead leveled up quite fast. Jova leveled up quite fast. So even now with early access, I think it will be either Winstead or Jova who will become a town first. So one of these two. Why is that? The reason is because right now most people will first of all, there is the starting zone here at the bottom, right, in the at the alien divine gate. Second of all, these areas, so Winstead for example, this area has some juicy places for players. It has Highwayman Hills, which is an early area to level up and to get gear. It has Briarmore, also counts to Winstead. It has Steebloom, which also counts to Winstead node. So when people are leveling at these areas which are juicy or farming gear, they will automatically level up the node. So that might be the reason why Winstead leveled up so fast. Of course, they now kind of nerfed all of the leveling because it was way too fast for a town to get to become a town in yeah, few days. So that was actually bugged. But however, the players who do stuff within the nodes, within the settlements areas, so also at this open dungeons, open areas where you can level up, where you can farm stuff and so on, they will provide XP for the settlement. So it is very likely with early access, Winstead or Jova, whichever server you are on, but it is very likely that Jova or Winstead will be leveled up the fastest. Of course, there is a second entry now. You can also choose your starting zone here at the top in the anvils. But this area in general is kind of fresh. Still needs some polish. And maybe not many people will decide to spawn here and start their journey in the anvils. I think most people very likely will start their journey from here, which is also more central, right? You are not at some corner, you are just in the middle of everything. I agree, they are not all working on system and some on map, but you have to understand they only have 2 devs, which is ridiculous for a project of... Yeah, that's true. So focus has to be made before saying we change our rails and want to push better. Yeah, but the project will still succeed, but it's pretty hard to see the end with a bad management. Agree as well. I mean, it's in general hard to see. We don't see the roadmap, the internal roadmap, they have, what they are focusing on, and how everything will play out and work together at the very end. We are just seeing what they want us to see. And there might be an internal version of the game which is much further, which maybe already has the left continent fully developed already. Who knows? It could be. Also looking into the secondary classes, right? Right now we only have the primary classes, and the summoner will be new coming in with early access. So the secondary stuff and going beyond level 25 is still all open. So there is still a lot of work to do. It's really a lot. Maybe we are just at 30-40% looking at game development. Maybe just 30% is right now done. Could be. We don't really know, and we cannot know. It's not possible for us to know all of this. We can just hope that they keep being as transparent as they can. At some point they are intentionally very generic with their with their communication, which I can understand. You don't want to commit to something or communicate dates that you cannot hold. This will fire back, so you really have to be conscious about this and keep in mind, hey, everything you are saying in a development stream might come back to you. People will take note of this, and if it's in the internet, it will always stay in the internet. You cannot simply delete that kind of information. You can only apologize afterwards. So yeah, they have to find the balance. I think overall Steven is doing it quite good from the communications perspective, but I agree there might be tough decisions in the management, upper management, regarding development, regarding the priorities that might not make sense for us because we don't have the full view, but it might make sense internally for them because they have the full view of what is ongoing, which team is working on what, and how does it make sense to show it to us. Because for them, even though this is alpha, it is not bound to an NDA, right? Everybody can stream it, everybody can show what the issues are, and so on. It is a very transparent development compared to other MMOs. So for them, they really have to decide what they can show, want to show us, and when they want to show us and can show us. I also agree that at the start of phase 2 we had much faster progress. It felt like much faster than it is right now. But this may depend on different stuff as well. So we can just be optimistic. And if people are kind of burnt out and mad that the progress is a bit slower right now, then I would suggest take a break, which would be suggested by Steven as well. Just take a break. Maybe in a year you see enough progress to take it up again. Maybe not, but it is what it is. That's the risk of being so transparent during development of such an ambitious and large project. Okay, I need to catch up with chat, sorry. Would you like to set the delay on the stream a little lower? I cannot actually. This is standard, yeah, let's say German internet delay. I cannot set it. I don't have any delay, any extra delay set up actually. Comes from years and years of World of Warcraft. Do you think this game can replace World of Warcraft vibes? I will be honest, I haven't played World of Warcraft. I never liked the visuals of World of Warcraft and the gameplay aspect with regards to combat. I had a feeling it was very static. So I looked into it. It looked like you only can cast stuff while standing still. You don't have a dodge roll. So I am very biased with what I want from a MMO combat-wise. I play a lot of Guild Wars 2, for example, which has an excellent combat system compared to other MMOs. Even better than a current Ashes system. That's why I never played World of Warcraft. So I cannot really tell you if you will get the same vibes. What I can tell you is this game has the same old school vibes, most likely. It is right now very grindy, and overall you should compare the launch with World of Warcraft. Because as mentioned earlier, World of Warcraft, there is a huge company behind it, Blizzard, which is really good in what they are doing and how they are doing it, which also have the resources to make a game very good. So I cannot say you will get the same vibes of as of World of Warcraft, but it is worth a try. You should find it out by yourself. Okay, let me scroll up. I actually missed a lot of chat. This turned out to be a more just chatting stream than I expected. Let me see. Lionel quest line goes to Jova, road to Jova. Yes, I just hope they will not miss the spot fishing game loop until early access and beyond, so I can still chill in the game. By the way, with regards to fishing, if you have a Steam Deck, I think it's possible to play Ashes on the Steam Deck. So since currently everybody is able to play the same account with on multiple characters at the same time, so you can log in on your PC on your account, and you can also log in on your Steam Deck on the same account and play a different character the same time. And it is allowed. It is not nothing illegal which breaks terms of service or something. You are allowed to do this. You are allowed to actually play with multiple characters from the same account at the same time, as long as you are using different devices, which would be the case if you are using Steam Deck. So you could set a character on your account just for fishing, log in on your Steam Deck, and play a different character on your PC while the Steam Deck character is fishing. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, sports fishing is coming. I don't know how it's going to be, we will see. But the current kinda AFK fishing you can do on a second character. Rowboats looked awesome. Yeah. In phase 2 I had a boat as well. I was just cruising around the seas. And by the way, there is also, maybe not everybody of you know, not sure if it's going to be the same for oh, let me kill these, for early access. But at the very start, when we start testing, there was no fall damage in the game. Right now, with phase 3, there is fall damage in the game, so you can actually die from falling from high grounds. However, you can kinda mitigate this right now if you fall with a mount. So I should not die, we will see. Yeah, the mount died, I did not die. Of course 10 minutes cooldown until it gets revived, but yeah, just FYI, you can still survive by sacrificing your mount. Poor horse. ETR and AI Beyond will be different. I just hope they will not ruin it. Yeah, we have to see. I think many people have the same concerns. You just can try to be optimistic and hope that not too many people have wrong and too high expectations, because it will still remain as an alpha. It will still be an early alpha, even though it's called early access. from the 11th, but people really should be aware of this. After Winstead got level 4, Jova got locked and we started to level Nuela to compete with Winstead. Makes sense. That's why Nuela is also a tier 4 town. At this stage, even Steven doesn't have the full view, in my opinion. It could be. I mean, it's hard, right, to have the detailed overview of everything that is ongoing with a team of this size. That's why usually you have this hierarchy in your business, that at least on a high level you get the reports of the progress and so on, but in a detail you have to trust the teams behind it on a detail level. Ist die Grafikeinstellung schon auf Max bei dir? Nein, Medium. I'm using the medium graphic settings. Nebo. I could go high, but it will be stuttering. Not because of my hardware, just because of the game is not optimized. Currently, I think the game is optimized to run medium and low settings. If you go higher, you might see the impact with more stuttering, more lags, and so on. Did you play BDO? I did not. I was about to play BDO. I actually have it in my Steam library. It looks good, but it looks very grindy. And at the time where friends wanted me to play, I actually don't had any time to start it. So yeah, it was bad timing, and at the end I decided to not play video. But I think it looks good. Also combat-wise, it looks more appealing for me than World of Warcraft. Does the dodge roll actually dodge attacks? Yes, it does. Right now, I would say it's not as precise as in Guild Wars. However, if you actually dodge an attack, it will say miss. It will not say dodged. It will say miss, unfortunately. Maybe they have to optimize here as well. Because attacks can miss without dodging as well. If you look into my stats, that might be a bit confusing. However, if you look into it, so not physical, not magical. Is it here? No. Ah, by the way, there is also a luck stat, which is interesting. Yeah, let's go physical. It should be here. You have physical accuracy, and you also have physical evasion. So if some physical class attacks me with a physical attack, then it could actually miss without me actively dodging, because when he has not enough physical accuracy and I have a lot of physical evasion, I basically am countering him. I'm countering him with stats only. I'm able to dodge attacks without actively dodging. However, if you use the dodge in the right timing, it will dodge the attacks. It will actually work. And as a rogue, if you have advantage, you are consuming less stamina for your dodges, and your dodges are kinda a short sprint. You are traveling a short distance when dodging with advantage. So this is very beneficial for the rogue class type. So you should dodge actively. And there is also, if you look here in the skill tree, where is it? This is when sprinting. Here it is. So if you are fully skilled here in the stamina section of your skill tree, which is a separate point, so you will get this point anyways. You can even see I'm fully skilled and still have 3 points to give. You get in the middle part, you get stuff that is helping your dodge and your stamina. So for example, it increases your evasion rate. It can help you to increase your dodge distance. So at the start your dodge is not even as you have seen it on my screen. It is way shorter. Now I can dodge faster, further, and also faster with advantage. However, if I successfully actively dodge an attack, some of my stamina will be regenerated immediately. So it is very beneficial to actively dodge skills. Yeah, Slogna, that's a huge concern on my end as well. First of all, it's Steam. People will have expectations, that's for sure, and I cannot blame them, to be honest. If you see a game you have heard of, like Ashes of Creation, most people have heard of Ashes, and if you are then, yeah, kinda have an expectation on early access, especially with the announcement looking forward, pushing for beta, yeah, I cannot blame them to have high expectations. But I just hope that the majority of people will be aware of what they are signing into. It is the same with Alpha 2 Phase 2. People were really aware of this. I think people were also yeah, putting in more effort and researching the current state of the game because of the higher entrance fee, right? Nobody is, or not many people, not the majority at least, is going to pay $100 for a game that is still in development without actually knowing what they are buying. With the $50 entry now, with early access, maybe less people will actually research the current state and what they are actually buying. So they might be disappointed because of that. I have a feeling $50 is not much for many people, so they will just try to test it out. Just give it a try, blindly going in and having high expectations, and maybe they will be disappointed. However, I think it is still a fun game where you can have a lot of fun with if you play it with other people. And the MMO genre is not looking good anyways, so it might make sense, and that might be a reason for early access as well, why they decided it to go with early access now, because they just see the timing itself from a general perspective is not that bad. However, looking at the game, it might be not optimal. There might be backlash. So now my bank account is useless. I like BDO's combat system, but there was a learning curve. There is also a learning curve here. You really have to understand your skills and the playstyle you want to play. And you also have to understand against which classes and in which situations it makes sense to engage if you want to have some PvP, or maybe it makes sense to not engage and just run away. So overall, I'm excited. I'm excited for early access, hoping that the backlash is not going to be that bad. At least the game is looking nice, and is even running on all the hardware, right? It is not well optimized, yeah. I think, in my opinion, they should prioritize this, but we will see how it's going to be, especially with dynamic gridding. I can't tell anything regarding dynamic gridding. Yeah, the looks are insane. I really enjoy it. And as you have seen, I'm just running medium settings, but it is the Unreal Engine magic. I can also dive, by the way, with this mount. This mount can breathe underwater. What's up, Yoga Lexi? Can you go from the swimming mount into the flying one? Good question. I think that's not possible. Because you cannot summon any ground mount or flying mount in the water. So you actually have to go on land and then summon your flying mount. I can also not summon the shoal skipper when I'm too far out. So when I'm here, look, I desummoned it. So I think now, if I try to summon it, it did summon, but it summoned at the ground. So if it's too deep waters, it will not summon. If it's too far away, it will actually not summon. Not even my underwater mount. So for a flying mount, you actually have to go to land. But first of all, you need you need to have a flying mount. Only mayors of settlements of these nodes, currently elected ones, have flying mounts, and they are very, very nice. They are actually, I like flying mounts. I wish I could have a flying mount of one day, maybe, to also showcase it, to also test the stuff and clear out open questions people have. But yeah, it will be tough to get a flying mount. I need to convince a lot of people for this. And I maybe have to tell them that I will be your taxi, delivering materials from A to B, so they can trust me with the flying mount. Of course, on the side, I have to focus the mayor responsibilities as well, the tasks that you have as a mayor in building up your node. Oh look, in front of me there is a PvP zone. But nobody is in here. Currently nobody is playing, unfortunate. Yes, you get the flying mount as a mayor, you lose it when you stop being a mayor. Exactly, you lose it. You don't have any access to the flying mount if you are no mayor. Right now you have to be an active mayor in one of the settlements. There are a lot of settlements, to be fair, but yeah, it's the only way. Looks like there will be ads now, sorry for that. Already been 30 minutes without. Some Siege War commanders get a flying mount too temporarily. Oh, okay, I did not know that. Is it already in game? I'm not sure if this is already in game. Maybe it's planned to be in the game. Thanks KYWA for the follow. Sorry if I mispronounce any names, by the way. Usually I'm butchering names a lot. It is really, it has the potential. I think every MMO player who really looked into different MMOs can see that this game has a lot of potential. It can be something really great. But we need to be patient and we need to be supportive, because this is not a large billion-dollar studio with the resources to deliver fast a good game. Especially looking into the east side of game development, looking at regions like Asia, if you see how fast and how good the Asian developers from China and so on are actually developing games right now. If you look at that, it's insane. They are really on top. They are winning. It is really incredible. And I think this is not going to happen on the Western side, on the Western studios, if you don't have the resources like Blizzard, Riot Games, and other huge game development studios. So we have to be patient. I know some people are like, hey, we are patient for 10 years now. But as mentioned earlier, the real development and the proper development just began a few years ago. 10 years ago, there were just a handful of people looking at this game and trying to make it happen. Right now, there are 200 people plus actually working on the game. So it's a difference. A2 in the Siege War. There was a second flying mount when Sunhaven attacked Mira. Ah, good to know. I didn't know that. Thank you. So you don't have to be a mayor to have at least temporarily a flying mount. So you can have a temporary flying mount if you are a commander during a siege war. It's good to know. And also makes sense. You always want one guy flying from above, having the overview of the battlefield and commanding the people in Discord and telling them, hey, we have some incoming group from east, we have someone from south, and whatever. So that's important information for the soldiers at the ground. It is, but be patient with your expectation. It still has a lot of issues. I will be transparent about it. It has a lot of bugs. It has a lot of systems which are not done yet. I mean, look at the character. So here you have the artisanship. So despite the whole leveling and so on, you can also chop trees. You can go fishing. You can harvest some herbs. You can go hunting, and you can also, if you look into where is it? I think P. Yeah, if you look into professions, or let's say artisans, you have all of these for crafting. So you can be an arcane engineer, leatherworking, jeweler, armor smithing, tailoring, scribe, weaponsmithing, and carpentry. I think weaponsmithing is kind of self-explanatory. Carpentry kind of as well, but you can see which craftsman, which artisan, which job basically can craft what kind of components. You can see at the carpentry, you can craft caravan components, you can craft wheels for your caravan, the chassis, and the armor as well. So before you choose a job later to be specialized in, and everybody will reach out to you to get this stuff crafted at the end, you can even open a shop and on the marketplace and say, hey, that's your caravan shop, and people will buy it, and people will know you on the whole server that you are the expert regarding this craftsman. So you can be a craftsman and do all of this depending on what you choose: carpentry, weapons, and so on. You can also be a gatherer at the same time. I'm, for example, chopping trees a lot. That's why my lumberjacking is leveled up on apprentice level. It can right now be journeyman with level 20. Then I can chop trees which can only be chopped with a level 20 journeyman certificate. Plus you need the axe as well. You also need the level 20 axe for it as well. Then you can also chop the level 20 trees, which are rare and used for higher gear, for example. And you can also do mining, you can do herbalism, fishing, and hunting. So the tools you have here in your artisanship are basically for gathering. You can do all of that at the same time. However, you are limited with regards to master everything. So overall, from crafting, from gathering, from processing as well, there is also a processing. You can only be Grandmaster with 2 of them. For example, I can be a Grandmaster Lumberjacking, which should be level 40, I think. Not sure yet. It's not in the game yet, but I assume it's going to be around 40. So you will be Grandmaster then for Lumberjacking, and you can choose another stuff. For example, from the crafting branch, be a Grandmaster Weaponsmith. And afterwards you can choose 4 more where you can be Master, level 30. So at the end, the experts for everything here will be separated and divided to the whole player base. There will be an expert or few experts who have the max level and are Grandmaster in Lumberjacking. There will be few people that have it in mining, but not a single person will have a Grandmaster for all of it. It's not possible. It's just limited. You can only be Grandmaster in few things, to be precise in 2, and you can only be Master in 4, and I think you can only be Journeyman in 6 or 8 of these. And of course you also have to level this up separately by actually doing the craft that is required. So overall you will need more people. You will depend on other people to craft your weapon, to craft your armor pieces, to provide you the best materials as a Grandmaster to craft something else. So there is this social part of the game is also very interesting. You really need connections. You cannot rely on solo play. You cannot get everything and be the best by only doing everything solo. At some point you will be dependent to get the best stuff. It is possible to play this game solo, and you will have a lot of fun, but I highly recommend to not do it. I highly recommend during your journey, if you start this, find friends, find a guild, and enjoy the fun with them. Other games did this too. I assume it is... I haven't looked into New World, but I assume there are multiple MMOs that are like this. I mean, Ashes is not the first to do this. That's for sure. I think Ashes is taking all of these from different MMOs, taking some stuff from, or at least getting the inspiration of different MMOs with different stuff, and then they decide to, hey, this might work in our vision. At the end, everything is Steven's vision, right? The developers just try to make it real. What Steven has in mind for his game, to be honest. I mean, at some point he clearly stated, guys, this is my game, and you may not like it, but this is how I want the game to be, and I want to play it at the end. So yeah, that's why it is how it is. However, that does not mean they are not listening to feedback. Steven will definitely listen to feedback, and the developer team as well. They already did. They already, based on feedback, community feedback, they changed stuff. But the overall vision of general game principles, design aspects, I think it will be hard to change Steven's mind regarding this general high-level aspects of the game. So yeah, let's hope everything will be fine at some point. I think many people will have fun, but I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of people going in with wrong and too high expectations, and they will be disappointed. That will happen. I think the people that know, they just know, they know that there will be harsh reviews, especially on Steam. I expect it. I think Intrepid expects it as well. The only thing we can do is try to share precise information as it is possible, and to really make people aware that they don't go in with totally different expectations than it is actually going to be. So yeah. I have 2 journeymen, 3 apprentice, and now I can't upgrade anything. Okay, so it's limited then. Then it's right now it's limited by 2 journeymen and 3 apprentice. But interesting that you have all of that. So you did a lot of crafting, processing, or gathering. I assume you have 2 journeymen gathering stuff because you start with gathering. Like it's normal, right? People start with gathering, and then once the city, the node you are in, you are a citizen of, for example, have the station in place to do actually armor smithing later or weapon smithing, then you start crafting and processing as well, depending on the stations that are present. However, you can do some stuff also without a settlement. There are some stations here at this small camps all over the world. You don't really have to do have to rely on a settlement fully to do processing. I think Intrepid did a good job letting people know it's early access and will have bugs. Yeah, agree. But I'm pretty sure there are people that just see it maybe on the Steam page. I think it's also written on the Steam page, right? It clearly states the current state of the game. They are very transparent with this. But I'm pretty sure some people are not reading it, are not informing themselves, and at the end they will be disappointed because they go in with completely false expectations. So I think it will happen anyways, because you cannot ask everybody to read stuff properly and to be informed. They will just see, oh, Ace of Creation, I know this, early access, oh, let's try. Yeah, I mean, there are also trolls, of course. Some people will just want everything / also the game to be burned. So even though they are aware, they will try to give bad reviews and so on. But it might help anyways. So if Intrepid sees some specific bad reviews regarding specific topics, they might change prioritization of fixing this stuff. So it might be valid and good feedback. Let's get this guy. This guy is strong. Oh no, he's behind the tree. These are the highwaymen. My inventory is full. I like the scorpion, by the way. It fits the size of my little character. I really like to run this. But it's not that fast as the lion. You will always have haters and so on. So you cannot completely get rid of it. Which is fine, right? I just hope it's not overwhelmingly one-sided, and I hope even if it is, that it kinda helps Intrepid in a way to prioritize and fix different stuff. Because I have a feeling some people think they are not here because they are reporting very niche bugs that don't need to be prioritized, that are still important but don't need to be prioritized. So they are like, okay, I reported this and that 6 months ago and it is still not fixed. So I can understand the frustration, but sometimes they focus more on uh, on people that are the loudest, that have more backers in their opinion, which is fine, right? But yeah, it is a dynamic process where they need to figure out what the best way is to fix stuff, and in which order, and how it will please the majority. Do you want to, for Rogue, do you want to do more PvP, or do you want to yeah, do PvE? Because it actually matters a lot depending on what you want to do with Rogue. In early access the characters are temporarily, right? Kinda, yes. So you can expect that it will be wiped at some point if there is any major issue, if there any huge bug occurs which will destroy the economy and so on. They might actually wipe, or they might spin up fresh servers. So you can decide if you want to continue on the broken one which had issues, or if you want to switch to a new fresh server. During early access I don't think this will change. Then the beta will come, and latest when the game launches everything else will be deleted. So alpha, early access, beta, everything will be deleted once the game launches. So keep that also in mind. It will be deleted at some point, eventually. PvP, I guess. Okay, for PvP Rogue, I would start with the acrobatic strike. That's really important because let me show it to you. Interestingly, you can use it even when you are riding a mount. I just learned it this phase, so which is kind of funny. You are basically spinning over your enemy in front of you, and if you do this from the front, you will kind of root your enemy, so he will not be able to turn like this, and then you can backstep. So as you can see, he could not turn for a few seconds after I used it. It does okay damage, but it also gives you advantage if you do it from front, and you need advantage. It is the red bar here. Currently we can have up to 2 advantage. You don't see the red now because I don't have advantage. If I go into stealth, you get advantage, but stealth you don't have to skill. You have this from the very beginning. It is necessary for a rogue. You can get this here at the side. You also have a passive bonus of 10 crit chance if you attack from behind. However, for PvP, I think you are fine with the general setup of a rogue. You want this. You also want feint, I would say, and the devious, the second stuff here for feint. So you are mobile. You can chase people. Then you want kick for your CC, very beneficial. You don't really need throw. I like to use throw, but if you really want PvP and especially 1v1, I would say you don't need throw. It's a nice skill you can use from distance, a decent amount of damage, but you don't really have to do this. So this is optional if you really want to go 1v1. You could instead go with flurry. You can use this. This has multiple counts. You can. It has 3 charges, and you can use it while casting other stuff. It will not interrupt your movement, your flow, your other skills. You can just have additional damage while you are doing the other skills. So it's really, really nice. Thresh, you want this as a backfill, so it deals a lot of damage. I think the lacerate, you don't really need it for PvP because it will use your advantage. If you use it, your advantage once you hit something will be gone. I can use it multiple times right now because I have Ruthless in here. So as long as I have 2 advantage, 2 out of 2 here, I can. I don't have any cooldowns on the skills that use advantage, like Ruthless, like Lacerate. So Ruthless you actually want to have, but you don't really need for PvP Lacerate. I don't think it's really beneficial. So try to go with Flurry, Feint, and Devious. Maybe Optional Throw, also don't need it. Sep you really want to have. Sep is really good. Once you poison an enemy, once you use your poison and attack an enemy, you see the blue on my auto attacks, which is because I poisoned my daggers with the draining poison, which steals mana, which I heavily like, because at some point if the fights are longer, then you will win because the enemies no longer have any mana and cannot use any skills. So especially if you are playing against a tank, draining poison would make sense. You can of course select different stuff. You can select chilling poison, which is for more people also annoying. You can select the withering poison, which I don't really prefer. Which I would prefer for PvP is also the wounding poison, because the healing they receive will be reduced if you are using this poison, and this helps in PvP in general. So consider the draining poison or the wounding poison for PvP. Yeah, what else? So for the passive stuff, attacking out of self grants you Gil, which yeah can be nice, because with skill you get 20% evasion increased. On your next weapon combo finisher you also gain advantage. So if you do an auto attack after you are out of stealth, you get this Gil effect, which can give you advantage but also gives you evasion. On top of that you get some health back, some regen if you go into stealth. If you are kiting, if you are not fighting at the enemy and you need to breathe, you just dodge out, go into stealth, and you will regen a bit of health back if you have this. So I can recommend it. The sleep dart for PvP, a must-have. It is an additional CC, almost like the kick, but even better, because depending also on your disable duration, the people you shoot this at will get in cap. They are literally sleeping for 12 seconds. 5, 4, 3. It's a lot of time. And while they are sleeping, of course they will wake up once you attack them, but while they are sleeping you can regen your health, you can prepare your combos and so on. You can get some advantage, so you can relax while they are sleeping. If they use a stun break, even better. Then they actually used a stun break for your skill, and you can continue with other CCs, which you know they don't have any stun break anymore. The Shadow Step is also a must-have, and the second one Ethereal as well. So this allows you to teleport behind your target, and if you are far enough, you will actually get advantage. If you are close, you can also use it from close, but then you don't get the advantage. Look at the Shadow Step skill. If I go further in distance, it will light up in blue. If I go close, the light up will stop. This means at this point I'm in the distance where I will gain advantage if I use it. If I go closer, I'm too close, I can still use it, I will teleport behind him, but it won't give me advantage. So 15 meters is like here. This is 15 meters in the game. Look, I have no advantage. If I use it now, because I'm 50 meters away, I should get advantage. I got advantage, and now I can backstep with more damage, consuming one advantage. Hey, what's the second best classes for group PvP? That's a tough one. I think right now every class has its role, right? I think you really need a cleric. Without a cleric, sooner or later you will lose the group fight, especially if you are kinda on the same level. But yeah, that's a good one. It's hard to tell. Um, but let me continue with the rogue. This needs more thinking, at least on my end. Maybe chat can help you as well, but it is hard to say in a group fight which are the best classes. I think it really depends on the number and also on the setup and the synchronization of skills, how you combine it and so on. It is not easy to tell. If it's, for example, a 2v2, yeah, you should have one rogue, maybe a cleric, and then you are good to go. Or even better, if you want to burst the enemy down quickly, one rogue and a bard. I think this is very nasty and strong to have a bard and a rogue together 2v2 against anything else. But yeah, it's not easy. It really depends on the numbers as well in group fights. Okay, where was I? Sleep Dart we talked about, Draining Poison we talked about, these we talked about, Double Strike. I would have this definitely skilled for PvP because the main reason is actually Thump, which I did not talk about. So Thump can silence your enemy for 4 seconds, which many people find really annoying. If you are silenced, you are not able to cast any skill. So you can only auto-attack when you are silenced. You can really not use any skill when you are silenced for 4 seconds. If you use it with advantage. Because I have advantage, you can see the skill being marked, being lightened up with the at the corner of the skill. You can see it's lightened up because I have advantage. That's an indicator. You can also see it for different skills in yellow, with a yellow corner. Advantage makes your skills better, at least some of them. So if I use this, Thump, silenced, he can only auto-attack. He has the silence debuff, dazed as well. And now with the double strike, I can actually use it again. So the skill you used prior to this, if it's Step, Lacerate or Thump, it will basically copy it. And this slot will be an additional slot based on what you have used previously. So I could now press Q and use Thump again. I could also use Lacerate, then this will become Lacerate. And now I can use Lacerate. I can also use Step, then this will become an additional Step. So it really is a combination game, how you want to combine stuff. And I would suggest for PvP, you use it for Thump. Because Thump, for many people, is giga annoying. For many people, being not able to use any skills in the middle of the fight, they will get really mad. So using Thump twice with this quick strike, double strike in place makes a lot of sense. So use it. Then let's go to Adrenaline, which of course has a high cooldown, 1.5 minutes. People would say it's not worth it, but for PvP it definitely is. Because thanks to Adrenaline, you are able to dodge much more. And as mentioned earlier, dodge is, at least for Rogue, very important to actively dodge people. You can also use it to chase people, why not? Because if you run normally without the sprint active, of course you don't use any stamina, but you are slow. If you dodge while having advantage, you are quite fast. And if you then miss stamina, you can use Adrenaline, get immediately 50 stamina, get this speed boost as well, so you are even faster. You get an additional 1.5 dodge, so more than 1 dodge you get in terms of stamina. But you also get this black aura around you, which makes you faster. So your movement is also faster. So you should use it in situations where you maybe need to get out of a fight. Or you should use it to chase people. If they are running away with less HP and you really want to finish them, just use it. Use Adrenaline and they will not be able to run away that easily. Shadow Cascade. Using 69 mana. Insane. Nice. Surely it's intended. This is basically your finisher. I would say this is the Omae mo Shindeiru skill, the anime skill, where you can actually finish people with. It can be used as a mobility skill as well. If you are especially fighting against more people and you really want to get out of there, you should use the Shadow Cascade just to get out of there. However, it is an AoE, it does a lot of stuff, but it needs advantage. If you don't have advantage, you cannot use it. If I now use my advantage, let me use it. So now I don't have any advantage, and you see the skill is grayed out, Shadow Cascade. You can no longer use it. So be aware of this when you are engaging fights and when you actually want to use it. You really need advantage. Of course, you have multiple stuff. For example, now from the front, you cannot go into stairs because they see me, I'm too close. But I can use Acrobatic Strike, and because I'm doing it from the front, I will gain advantage. And now, even being in the middle of the fight, I have advantage for 30 seconds. And now I can use the Shadow Cascade. It is a nice anime move, so let me put the window away, using it, 3, 2, 1. It deals good damage, it does bleeding, but it is not meant to be used offensively in this situation. You actually want to use this as a finisher, when the target is already low, and when you want to hit multiple people, because the whole space I traveled by using the skill is an AoE, and it will deal damage to everything in that path. It's not a single target skill. All targets hit suffer bleeding, we had that. Targets that are poisoned become exposed. That's why you want to use it at the end of the fight, because usually you already used your poison and they are actually poisoned. And also targets below 50% health, that's the important part, get hemorrhaging. So only, I would recommend to definitely use it for PvP, but only use it against targets which are below 50% HP to get max value out of it. I just see that there is a ad incoming in 30 seconds, so let me speed up. Umbral Cloak, you also want this, because it is your second stun break if you have advantage. Otherwise you only have the teleport to stun break out of stuff. On top of that, it has 80% increased magical evasion, so against mages for example, for 8 seconds. Usually mages can burst you down very fast, so using this as a oh shit button with advantage, also to get out of CC, is essential. So skill it. Deathmark, you don't have to use it. This is really if you want to single target, kill people, it might make sense. It increases 10% of your damage while to the marked target. So while you have marked target, you will do 10% increased damage to that target. And once you kill that target within the time frame of 30 seconds after attacking him, you will also gain some of your life back. Your HP will be regenerated. Not necessary for PvP. It's really up to you if you want to use it, because you really have to also be in the right distance, and you have to look at your enemy. If you turn around, you are not able to, as you can see here at my F1, you are not able to cast it. You actually have to look at your enemy. But once you cast it, it will get the buff, Deathmark, for 60 seconds, and once I attack the target in that time frame, so even if I attack it the last second, it will get additional buff, 30 seconds, with that the target will deal 10% more damage. And the target will also be exposed. So during that time I can burst them down and I get some health back. But it is very situational and might not work for everybody. So not necessary for PvP. You have to decide if you really want to do this. At break, let me continue after the ads. Also hydrating. Quickly be right back. Okay, should be over soon, in about 10 seconds. Okay, now nobody has ads, I assume, according to my ads manager. Okay, where were we? Grappling hook, actually for PvP, you might not use it. I like it. I think it's very versatile, and if you want to get out of situations or if you want to chase someone, yeah, it's great. Oh look, there is a tent here. Funny. Okay. So yeah, it's up to you if you want to use grappling hook for PvP. It can be useful, but keep in mind if you are being attacked while grappling somewhere, it knocks you down. It gets you tripped. So not necessary for PvP. Smoke bomb, essential. Also 69 mana, nice. You should definitely have this. Smoke bomb is very essential also in PvP if you want to dodge more stuff, if you are pressured a lot, if you want to go into stealth, even the enemy is right in front of you, you need smoke bomb. And you also gain advantage because if you have Gil and you are in stealth and auto attacking, you get advantage immediately. And the enemy who is in your smoke field, smoke bomb, will be blinded. So they have a chance to they have a decreased accuracy and you have a increased evasion. So they actually don't want to fight you in look, someone appeared. Hello. So you actually, enemies don't want to fight you in the smoke bomb. You have huge advantage within the smoke. And you can just use it. It's almost an instant cast. And then you can go into stealth, you can fight in that smoke, which is very beneficial for you, because you have increased dodge, increased evasion, and the enemy is blinded. So yeah, definitely use it. A very good skill. For PvE as well, if you have a lot of mobs around you, just use it and you can attack them and they will miss only without you not dodging. You don't have to actively dodge, they will miss just because they are in your smoke. Then maybe the most important stuff. This depends on your player style. However, you can choose here between padded toolbelt and expanded toolbelt. Padded toolbelt allows you to use multiple tool abilities like throw, the sleep dart, the poison, the caltrops, grappling hook and smoke bomb out of stealth, and you will still be stealthed. So it's not breaking your stealth, which is insane. You can basically sleep dart people and they still don't know where you are and from where it came from. You can grapple hook around multiple areas being in stealth. This is the sneaky play. If you want to roam and scout, go for it. But for PvP, I highly recommend expanded toolbelt. Also for PvE, to be honest. Because thanks to expanded toolbelt, you can see in my skills bar, you have 2 charges of sleep dart. You have 2 charges of throw, grappling hook, caltrops, smoke bomb. It is just insane. Also poison. So all of these tool skills have 2 charges, and this is it's just, I don't know. It is highly beneficial. How can I more say that? I hope it's obvious, but it helps a lot to have these tool skills having 2 charges. Can use 2 times grappling hook. You can use 2 times throw, and especially the smoke field 2 times with its high cooldown of 1.5 minute. It really can save your ass and turn a fight by using it the second time. So yeah, and since I prefer all the tool skills, like throw as well. I like throw, even though 1v1 PvPers will say not to use it. Yeah, I think it's still nice to have an option in fights against more than just one guy, because it will bounce between the whole group if they are close together and deal extra damage and cause some bleeding. So I like to have it. But yeah, that's all about Rogue. If you want to play PvP Rogue, consider not going with Throw, consider not going with Deathmark, consider going with Feint, consider not going with Lacerate, and then you are good to go. You can even consider to skill Sleep Dart twice, because if your target has bleeding on it, it will add another 5 seconds of sleep, of in-cap. So they will not just be in-capped for me now for 11 seconds, they will be in-capped for 16 seconds, which is insane. Imagine being there sleeping as a player for 16 seconds, not able to do anything. As long as they not get attacked. It will wake them up if you attack them, but 16 seconds you can precast everything, you can get your line up, and then attack whenever you think it's the best for you. It's a huge advantage. You're welcome. Happy to help. Okay, that took much longer than I expected. I have never explained this so far. Hope it helps. Anyways, Toshink, I don't know if you are still here. If you are still here, so the best 2 classes. Okay, you are here. For group PvP, really depends on the numbers. So if you talk about group PvP, are you talking about 2v2? Are you talking about 5v5? 15 versus 15? 50 versus 50? So it really depends on the numbers. Overall, it makes sense to have one from everything. I think the best balance, looking into large scale, it makes sense to have every class at least one time. 5v5, okay, this is more limited, because we have 8 classes, right? So you cannot have everything once. So for 5v5, I know there were some community tournaments. I don't know what was the most effective, but I assume you definitely need 1 ranger, you definitely need 1 cleric, 1 bard, and after that, yeah, it gets a bit more skill based and gear based. So I think what you really need for a 5v5 to have an advantage is cleric, bard, and ranger. These are, I think, very important. The reason is cleric can buff your whole party and even provide passive benefits like a barrier. So people are attacking the barrier instead of the health of your comrades. You can apply speed boosts. You can apply some mana if needed. Mostly not needed in a 5v5. At least the time to kill is currently fast enough. So 1 bar of mana is enough to actually kill everyone. So bards probably in a 5v5 don't need to apply mana. It's more for PvE right now. But however, there is a damage boost song. This will help a lot. Movements will help a lot. CCs from bards will help a lot. And bard itself is very mobile, right? So you can be here and there whenever they need you. And on top of that, bard is also dealing a lot of damage right now. So it is really essential to have a bard, a good bard in your party for a 5v5. I think bard is actually the most important in the 5v5. I'm not sure if anyone has any other opinion on this, but I'm pretty sure a bard is essential to win a fight. So the best class for 5v5. You will definitely need at least one bard. After that, I would say a cleric is really important for sustain, to heal stuff. And after that, the third most important one is a ranger, simply because of one skill, to be honest. Of course, also because you on long range you are able to burst people down and pressure them from a safe distance, which is very helpful. However, the most important skill why ranger is good for everything 5v5 and beyond, also for larger scale, are vines. Let me log in on my ranger to show it to you quickly. Vines, you have an AoE almost instacast. AoE almost instacast, where you root everybody which is standing in there. So it is hard for people to dodge it, and if you time it with your team members, that they will cast all their AoE damage and damage in general to a spot where you catch 2 or 3 people of the enemies. You don't have to catch all of them, but if you catch 2 supports of the enemies with the roots from vines, then it's already over. Your team can immediately burst them down and roll over the rest afterwards. Nice. Good to see some people are actually testing here already. So this is the skill I'm talking about, Vinefield. It just has a 30-second cooldown, which is also very short for what it can do. It deals good damage, 125%, and people within that large AoE you see here, let's be honest, it is a large AoE. Everybody you hit with this will become rooted. It's just for a few seconds, 4 or 5 seconds, but if you time it well with your team, then that's totally enough. And if you hit 2 or 3 people at the same time, they cannot do shit. They need someone to actively remove it, but it might be already too late after they notice. So Vinefield for mid-scale, large scale, everything starting up from 5 to 5 and larger, you really want this skill. It will make a difference. It will make people win fights. So that's why I would say the third most important for 5v5 and higher is the ranger. However, ranger is actually not good in 1v1 right now. So every class has its advantages and disadvantages, right? But for 5v5, I think it's really necessary. You really want a ranger. After that, the remaining 2 classes in a 5v5, you can go with rogue, which can help to burst down, for example, the supports. If you call it in your Discord, with your team, if you have the Vinefield followed by a rogue stabbing the cleric, and getting them completely out of the game, why not? So I would say the 4th and 5th place can be a rogue, can be a tank who can do good CC and control the area with a wall, with a chains where you can pull people, and overall good sustain. I think tanks are also really good, but overall you can also go with a summoner. I haven't seen a summoner in PvP yet. I cannot really tell, but for now summoner looks really strong. A mage is also strong. A mage is more high burst and good AoE, but it really depends at the end how you combine the stuff within your group. So after you have a bard, a cleric and a ranger, I think it really is up to your gameplay, your game style. I would suggest a rogue and a tank, to be honest, but a mage is also very strong, so you can also go with a mage and burst the people down. Very squishy, but most burst potential with the rogue is definitely mage. And you have more AoE. Wine counter it with a bard as well, which is huge. Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the follow, Ziax, Alposh, and so on. Thanks everyone. Can you show your gear? Sorry, I missed that. I mean, on this one I don't really have good gear. I assume you meant on my rogue, which, to be fair, also has not good gear. I was in the progress of getting materials for good gear, but then Intrepid announced, hey, we are going to shut down everything and going for fresh early access. So my gear is not that good, but I was about to craft actually really good gear. You can, maybe you are not aware of, maybe it helps. Let me post it into the chat. Very helpful to look for gear. This website. It always has a current database of what we have in the game, and you can see gear. You can actually look for gear. It even has a popular items list at the front page where you can see what people are actually searching for, what they are looking for. And here you can also find a guideline how to craft this gear, what actually you need for the different rarities, and so having the requirements, an overview about that, and also the comparison before you actually craft the gear on this website, Ashes Codex, really helps. I can just I can recommend to check this for gear. So my gear, I started with the Steel Bloom necklace and earrings on legendary to have the set bonus also in legendary, the 480 power you see below in orange in the description. To have this also in legendary, you at least need 3 pieces of Steel Bloom at the same rarity. If I would have it on epic, then it would be less. It would be not 480. So keep this in mind regarding every set bonus. If you have armor with set bonus, it might make sense to go all rare, for example, or blue, instead of some epic and some common. It might make sense. So keep this in mind. But other than that, I have Rosarium gear also from Steel Bloom. This I have it from the very start. I was about to craft Akadira set, but yeah, no time. I had no time left. So for the armor pieces, I actually have the heavy armor piece, which is also not optimal. Of course, it gives me here heavy physical defense increase by 11%, which helps. Yeah, it's nice. But there is better stuff. There is a medium set bonus. That helps a lot. Light set bonus, which increases damage and wisdom. But on rogue, you actually at the end want to go with medium. You can also go with heavy. Why not? Then you are a bit more tankier, but it is preferred to go with medium for more damage. So my pieces are not good. I have Rosarium pieces, green, blue. I have some good Legi Steel Bloom stuff. Steel Bloom rings, epic, not Legi, because I already had 3 of them on Legi. Why wasting materials? On the weapons, Glorybound Twin Daggers, also not very the best in slot, but not bad at all. And the Sunfire Shortbow on Heroic. I was about to craft Jackal knives in full Legi. So that was actually my project. It took me several weeks, but yeah, I was done 70%, but then let me post it from the Ashes Codex, so you know what I'm talking about. So here you go. These bad boys I wanted to craft in full Legi, but if you look at it, what it takes to have full Legi, it is a lot. It takes time, it takes resources, it takes a lot of gold. I was almost done, but I couldn't finish it, unfortunately. I think I was missing some copper it needs a lot of copper, Legi copper, of course. I wanted to do it in full Legi. You don't have to, you can mix stuff and have lesser quality, but I wanted to have it as the best weapon ever created. But yeah, it did not happen. Unlucky. Maybe next time. Okay, let me check. I also agree that Bard is probably the most important. Yeah, we have done some mid-size PvP, and the team with the Bard won every fight because of. Yeah, totally agree. The barrier itself is already really strong. It helps a lot. Slexiel, hey Ronin, interested in this Steam release, but I'm an old guy. I'm also old. With not much time to play these days. My main concern is the PvP aspect, as I will probably be playing solo. How viable would that be, and how does the PvP work? Okay, I see someone already answered. Anyways, the corruption system is basically, they changed it at some point. So if you go into game options and search for PvP, you are able to check and uncheck this thing here. So if you uncheck it, you are actually, if anyone flags up around you, basically has the PvP flag enabled afterwards, you can immediately attack him and you also get PvP flagged. You can also activate shortcut. Let me try to do it. Okay, here you see it now. You can also activate it force flag with a shortcut. This player is prepared to harm other players. So now everybody who targets me can also see that I'm ready to harm other players. However, if this player I'm attacking is not attacking me back and I actually kill him or his mount, I will get corrupted. And with the corruption debuff, you get a lot of bad stuff happening to you. Let me check what it was. So I was at one point I was corrupted on level 1. I deal with corruption 1, you deal 25% less damage, you suffer 25% reduced mitigation, health and mana, you are 5% slower, you incur 4% XP debt upon death, you drop 25% more resources upon your death, and you can also drop your actual gear, what you have equipped when you die, when you are corrupted. And it is likely that you will die when you are corrupted, because when you are corrupted, even if your friends are around, they will not able to support you, they will not able to heal you, they can do shit for you. The only thing what they can do is kill you and drop your loot before anybody else loots your drop. So they will then loot your stuff and give it hopefully back to you. That's the only counterplay you have, or the only mitigation. If you are alone and you get corrupted, you are very much in danger, because the corruption status will also show here on the minimap. On the top right, people will see that are close to you where you are and will be able to attack you without flagging. They don't need to go into the PvP flagging. They can attack you and stay white. So nobody else will attack them, however they will attack you. So the disadvantage currently of the corruption state is not worth it. You really don't want to kill any mount or a player who with force flag active who is not fighting back. If they are fighting back, they will also be flagged PvP, and then you can just fight them. It was earlier not possible to do PvP otherwise. You either needed to have a guild war, or you needed a siege war, a settlement war, or you have to flag and the other guys will need to attack you back to have proper PvP without anyone getting corrupted. With early access, they showed this in the last dev stream, there is an option where you can target a player, right click on him and ask him for a duel. If he accepts it, none of the players who are engaging in the duel are being flagged. You don't have to flag for a duel. This will come with early access. It took a lot of time, but finally it's here after player feedback. The community really wanted this and they made it possible. It might be still bugged, but with early access you can just right click on people, ask them for a duel without being flagged, and then go for it. And thanks all for helping me out with the explanations. Really appreciate it, because I'm behind the chat, I know. Okay, I hope this is clear. Overall, as a solo player, I really recommend you, as always, find some friends, find a guild. You will have more fun. You will enjoy the game much more. Some stuff is really kinda gated between group play. It will be tough for you as a fully solo player to progress and to have much fun in the game. This game is very social driven, and you should consider to, at some point, you can play it solo, that's no issue, but you should consider grouping up with few people at least. So overall, I think it's not very solo player friendly, but that's also not the intention and the design of the game. It really encourages you to play as a group. However, if you don't have time and if you think the game is going to stress you out, keep in mind it might be early access, but it is still in early alpha. It is still in testing. It will not be everything will be deleted when the game launches, maybe in 2, maybe in 3 years, we don't know. It is early access, and don't have high expectations, and definitely don't stress yourself. You might regret it. Do not stress yourself with this game. I know so many people who played this like a no life. They ignored everything else in their life, and at the end it was wiped. At the end it had issues. It is not a finished game. We are just here to test. Have fun, enjoy the journey, and report some bugs. This will help the game at the end, preparing for the launch. So really consider this fact. This is important to keep in mind. I cannot stress this out and repeat it enough. It is important that everybody is aware of this. Keep it chill, have some fun. If you don't have anything else to play, you are welcome to join, but don't have wrong expectations, and definitely don't stress your real life or whatever. So it's not worth it. Okay, let me try to catch up. Thanks for the follow, God Mode Diablo. Okay. Wait, you can lose your gear when you're corrupted? Yes, you can. How do you get corrupted again? Yeah, if you attack somebody that is not attacking you back, or if you also not just attack, also kill that guy or his mount. So if I summon my Scorpion, which currently has only 700 HP, and you accidentally kill it, you also get corrupted. Just be aware of this. In many ways, that aspect reminds me of EverQuest. Yeah, PvPing someone who does not want to fight. Yeah. Curious if you know how long the third phase for EA will be before we don't know. I think nobody knows. Steven, the CEO, the principal game designer of the game, said they are pushing next year for beta, but that does not mean that end of next year the beta will come. I don't think they will announce any date on this. So, in my personal opinion, for the launch, it will take at least 2 or 3 years from now. At least. It can be more, I don't know. But in my personal opinion, that's how I see the current state of the game. It is a lot to do, but a lot is already done. So that's my point of view. So if you flag PvP and fight, your nameplate is purple. If you don't fight, it's white, talked as a green player. And if you kill a white nameplate or non-purple or even just their mount, you can go corrupt. Yes, I know that phrase gets filtered, so I put that's a good one. I do have a guild. And I mean, as you see, not here right now, but I do have a guild. Yeah. Um, I can actually, maybe I can share this with you. Why not? Let me let me try to promote a bit. Um, I don't know where the link is, but I think we have a Steam post. Actually, I have to ask people in Discord. 1 second. Okay, I have it. Copy link. Okay, guys. So this is my guild. So we have a basically kindred is the guild called. Um, we are mostly, I would say, 60% of our player base is based in Europe and 40% is in NA. However, we are playing on the NA servers because the NA servers are more populated, and initially we met each other through the NA servers. So that's what you need to know. We are very experienced, I would say, and very welcoming, also for beginners. Overall, good people, and yeah, if you want to join, feel free to apply, and we can have some fun together. So yeah, check it out. We are playing mostly since phase 1. However, I started phase 2, so I think the majority has actually joined 1 year ago with the start of phase 2. But we are very experienced, so and we have a coverage of multiple time zones. We are gonna be on NA, yes. We have an alliance with different guilds, and these guilds are mainly on NA. The ping, if you are considered, if you are concerned or considering the ping and concerned with the ping, um, don't be so concerned. The ping is fine. If you are in Europe and playing on an NA server, the ping is fine. The ping is not a huge issue, which is surprising, but it actually is not a huge deal. You have a higher ping, but it's totally fine to play it. We will be on Scholl, as we are right now. The server will be wiped and spin again with early access, so we will be on Scholl. And we have a alliance of multiple guilds, NA guilds, so mostly NA players. However, Kindred has more European players. So we have a good coverage about 24/7 time zone. Time zone wise. Okay. If you kill a mount, it's not dead forever. Right now, it's dead for 10 minutes. Maybe I can kill my horse by jumping off the cliff. Let me jump out. Maybe it's not enough. Okay, it's not enough. Let me try from here. Maybe this is enough to at least get it. Is it working? Yeah, it's working actually. Maybe maybe that's even faster to get the spare kill my mount. Let's go. It's attacking, yeah, it's attacking. Is it working? No, it's not attacking my mount. Attack my mount. Can I drone? Maybe I can drone mine. Maybe this will help. No, it's not helping. It worked. Okay. So now my horse is dead. It will be revived in 10 minutes. Automatically. And then I can summon it. We don't know how this is going to be in the future. Maybe you have to do different stuff to actually revive your horse or your mount in general. But for now, and also for the early access, it will be a 10 minutes cooldown until you can resummon your mount. Already mentioned by PoKids Art. Thanks for the support. Do they gonna give Steam code who already bought the game? I think all alpha and beta key holders, like you are, if you already have the game, will have the Steam access automatically. That's what they said. On early access, are you all gonna be on NA? Yes. As mentioned, we will be on Scholl again. I think it will be the more populated server. Pretty sure about this, to be honest. It would surprise me a lot if the European server would be more populated. In general, also from a money perspective, I think $50 for someone living in the US is not that much compared to someone who lives in Europe. Usually, also looking at the payments from general job comparison, you get twice or even 3 times as much in the US than you get in Europe. But Europe has higher standards in general, so yeah, from money perspective, you get more money in US. Do you all main PvP or PvP? We do PvP, PvE. We do everything. We have people. We have people who are doing only gathering, so they are not even killing mobs. They are just running around, chopping trees, gathering herbs, and doing fishing and so on. They are basically just harvesting stuff and so on. So they are not really engaging in any kind of combat stuff. So yeah, overall we are doing everything, but we have a PvP. At least 10 or 20 people are interested in PvP. I am interested in PvP. I can tell you, I would really like to do endgame PvP. However, until you do properly PvP, you actually need to grind a lot of PvE. Juju, perfectly imperfect. Thanks for the sub, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So I'm interested in PvP, but to get the good gear, to be then able to do properly PvP, it takes time. It takes time, it takes energy, and it takes a lot of PvE. Or if you want, you can also stand at the marketplace and try to flip items, make your money with buying and selling stuff without doing any PvE, of course, that also works. And yeah, but at some point you really need to make gold, you really need to progress your gear first to be able to do proper PvP. So yeah, consider this. It's not a fully PvP game. It's very... You can do a lot of PvP. You can flag everywhere. You can even do it in a city or at Ember Springs, at spawn points. However, keep in mind the NPCs, the guards, which are overpowered, will kill you. Holy. Thanks for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. Tuboa. Thank you. Can you explain to me why in PvP the health bars are in like 4 quarters? That's actually a good question. I don't know how they are separated, so if it's 1k per quarter, not sure if it's kinda like that, but it is so as an enemy you don't have the I think at the start you had the visibility. You could actually see from your enemy how much health he has, and based on that information you can of course time your skills, right? You have a very important critical information. Hey, if he has only 1k HP, you may use only the skill to kill him which deals 1k damage. Why use a skill which deals 5k damage? And because of that they changed it to make it a bit more unclear for the enemy to see the exact amount of HP which is left. So they will only show you the 4 quarters as a rough estimate on how much HP this guy actually has, so you are not able to perfectly time and align your skills. So you need, it's always a decision. The whole game, everything you do, even if you are traveling from A to B, everything is based on your decision. And deciding on if you now use the large cooldown skill which deals a lot of damage could be a mistake or not. And for the PvP aspect, I think they did it because of this. So you actually have to kinda, let's not say gamble, but kinda yeah, have an awareness of this, that you can now go all in and finish this one, or you can try to not go all in and have some skills left for another guy, but risk to not kill that guy. So they reduced the estimation of and the presentation of the health bar in the quarters, I think because of this reason. So you actually don't really know. You don't have the exact information, which also makes sense from a point of view in a real fight. Do you really see how much stamina and HP the other guy has? I mean, it would be interesting how the fight would be done if everybody knows exactly how much is left from the enemy, right? If I'm fighting a boxer, then it would be very beneficial for me to see, hey, I just need to hit 2 more knocks and then I'm done. Then I can win. But you actually don't see it, right? Only the person itself can see its full visibility on its HP. And that's also what I think the intention here is. That you can see your own HP very clearly from your friends as well, but you cannot see the precise HP from your enemy. This is something which you don't have full visibility into. You can see if he got some knocks and if he is in a state that is not on full health, but you can only estimate it, right? You cannot really tell for sure. So I think it's a good thing. Leaderboards come in later, yeah, that's true. So it's a risk versus reward sort of thing. Yep, exactly. You went corrupt on phase 1 because the finisher went off. Well, expecting that burst of damage, yeah. Can happen very fast, especially against low levels and especially against mounts. I went corrupt 3 times this phase, because let's say someone corruption baited me. So yeah, I should actually tell this. Maybe it's probably not going to be fixed with early access. So maybe so you all are aware. Some people are corruption baiting by if they see a flagged player, they will summon a low HP mount like the horse or the scorpion right next to this player who's currently attacking. So they accidentally kill the low HP mount and get corrupted by accident. So be aware of this, that this happens. There is still a solution to be discussed, but just be aware of this. This is called corruption baiting. Or people are going full naked, reducing all their defenses to make sure they can run into people who are flagged, force flagged, and then bait them into getting corrupted. So always keep this in mind when you go force flag. I would even suggest you never go force flag. I would suggest you go into your PvP settings, as it is as of now, and you check this box. And if you check this box, you cannot accidentally get into PvP, and therefore you cannot accidentally get corrupted. So by checking this box, you will always be safe. You cannot get accidentally corrupted. However, if you enjoy the risk, if you want to have fun, if you want PvP, uncheck this box. And don't forget, if you loot someone else's loot, if a player died somewhere and you go onto his pile and loot his pile, you will automatically flag PvP. Don't forget that. Okay, that was a lot of explanation in the last 3 hours. I hope some people are aware now, and also Porky, thanks a lot for helping me out here. I think without you my voice would be gone. There was a guy in Highwayman, HH, who was griefing and mob training, so I was trying to keep this health low so he couldn't train mobs. And you went corrupt. Yeah, it's really easy to get baited and get accidentally corrupted. You really need to be careful. Okay, I actually would like to continue this. It seems to be a high interest in everyone. For now, thanks again for all the follows and the sub as well, Juju. The subs. I'm I think I have to rest. I'm currently sick. I was not expecting so many viewers today and so many questions, to be honest. Bad idea for early access on Steam. Yeah, I think really many people have this concern. A lot of people, content creators, shit hard on game because of bad art style. I think it's not just the bad art style. I think it's just the fundamental functionalities of multiple things. Be it artisanship, be it settlements, how they work. A lot of basic stuff is still work in progress. I think this will... And even the performance, in my opinion, my personal opinion, is that this game is performance-wise not ready for early access. So my concern is actually the performance right now. For the art style, I think it's okay. It's actually looking good. Can you kill a mob, please? Yes, I can. But I actually want to call it soon. Because I need to rest and I need to eat. I might come online back in few hours. But I really need to rest. So this is a mob I killed now. This is another mob I will kill now. But keep in mind these are low level mobs. Just level 7, I'm level 25. So they are of course dying fast. Running around, trying to find activating my adrenaline so I'm faster. Ah, there is a wolf, let me kill that one. I will mark it with my death mark. And now I will sneak behind him and do a backstep. And after that I will follow up with a finisher. Oh, backstep was already enough. You're welcome. And I can also use my short bow, but if I use my skills it will switch back to dagger. Alright, but I actually have to call it. I need to take a rest, need to eat, and in a few hours I might come back online. Maybe around 3 to 4 hours from now. I hope it was you understood my explanations. I hope it helped at some point. And thanks again for the follow, Wushkan. And overall, looking forward to hopefully see you in the early access. But please keep in mind not to have totally false and high expectations, because it is still an alpha. You can have a lot of fun already in the game. It is worth a try, but don't go in with totally wrong expectations, so you are not getting disappointed. You're welcome. Thanks for the follow, Crow 2V. Alright, can we raid someone actually? First time I have this much viewers, so I want to raid anyone who's streaming the game. Anyone English would be preferable. Okay, I just see there is a Russian guy and someone from Spain. So yeah, I guess I will rate this guy from Spain if I can. As always, in general, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the questions. Appreciate it. For the follows and the subs. And yeah, I might be online later. And hope you learned something and have a better, at least, view on the game. And would be nice to see all of you in early access, if you can make it. I actually have a referral link, but I think it's down here if you don't have an account, but I want no advertisement. If you want, feel free to create an account using that link. You don't have to buy the game. It's just to help me out later after the launch, but this will take some time. Who is this guy called? Rafukami. Okay, let's try to rate him. Okay, it seems to be working. I know it's in Spanish dude, maybe he's only speaking Spanish, but I want to give anybody all the viewers back, so maybe you know Spanish. Anyways, we'll be on later, so thanks again for all the support. Was actually a lot of fun, even though I'm sick. I'm going to take a break and have a good one. Cheers.